You are.
Shut up. You're making me want to touch it.
Your eyes are going all over the place. Your eyes are touching it. Stop.
All right, here we go, David. All right, how far are we into the show? Since I got a lot of cutting to do on YouTube.
We are negative 11 minutes into the show.
Hey, and we have more viewers than we had the first year of doing live stuff. Oh, thank you, Melinda. Melinda Gubert says, this is the first time I've watched and not just listened. It looks great, she says, except for this, which is going to drive me nuts the whole entire episode. All right, here we go, everybody. It's time to start Survivor Talk.
Hi, I'm David Wright from Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X, and this is Survivor Talk with Dwaine and David. Whatever generation you're from, these guys are worth listening to.
Welcome to Survivor Talk with D&D. We are just two best friends talking about the show we love. Today, I'm Cartoon Man. But anyway, my name is Dwaine, and I'm here with the guy who actually knows how long 2 minutes is, my best bud, David.
I love when you don't prepare me for your jokes.
That's because you don't read the notes. It's right there on the notes.
I know. I pulled it up. That was enough. You want me to read them? Okay.
Well, actually, I don't ever want you to read that first part because that's where I usually get my intro.
Okay. If it makes you feel better, I didn't read any of it. So now I'll read some of it.
Yeah. So later on, whenever I'm expecting you to do something, you're going to be like, what? Notes? What's that? David, it's Sandra. Like sand with a rut at the end. Okay, David, the whole entire episode, Sandra. Think beach, sand, and stick a ruh at the end of it.
I will do my best because I had no idea lives were being interrupted by me using an O. So you're right. Don't. It's
Sandra,
that's like, see, that's what you guys do when you're lead music. You go, don't sing it like this, and you give us that example, and it's stuck in our head.
I should put Sandra's name on the board behind me so that you can look at it and remember it.
S-A-N-D and then Ra.
That's right. It's like the beach, sand, Ra.
Well, to save people from typing it later or tweeting it or whatever, it's pronounced like it's spelled, David. So just Sandra. Yes.
Everybody was complaining because they were stuck with me and not getting to see you when you talk.
Oh, wow.
I was surprised they could tell a difference because we're both wearing blue shirts.
We look almost identical.
Yeah. See, my face right here looks like your head.
Yours is shinier. I try to buff mine out a little bit. I literally had minutes to watch the last few minutes and then set up a wired connection instead of Wi-Fi tonight. So I'm trying wired and then sit down and there you are, Google Hangouting me.
I barely made it. Hold on, I got to take my medicine. So say something.
You might still barely be here for a while because is your storm forecast still looking threatening?
Well, I tried not to look at it because if you don't look at it and you don't know about it, then it doesn't happen.
So I'm just going to freeze at some point.
Yeah.
Until your battery in your laptop goes out or computer goes out.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. David and I are already having fun. It's just going to be one of those nights. We have them probably 99% of our shows. So, if it's your first time here with us, you're D&D virgins, prepare yourself for a fun ride, we hope. If you came expecting Survivor scholars, you came to the wrong place.
But stick around anyway, because you might hear something.
Well, there are other podcasts for that. You can check them out after you're done listening to ours. Mm-hmm. All right? After you've laughed and enjoyed just two guys talking about a show they like, then you can go to, someone that, is a scholar. Spends hours and hours in the books about Survivor. Oh, and we are indeed a family-friendly podcast. Mm-hmm. Right, David?
Right, Dwayne.
That's right. Some have asked about supporting the podcast financially. If that's up your alley, simply head on over to stwdd.com/support. Okay, David, there is a possible monsoon/tornado/hurricane strength winds in my neighborhood. So hopefully I won't lose internet. If I do, and I get it back, you'll still be talking and I'll come right back into the hangout.
Okay.
If it goes out forever, then you get to finish the show and hopefully I'll edit it tomorrow. See what you did. Oh, man. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Oh, man. All right, David. Here we go. The Survivor episode Dirty Deed is about to get its due discussion. It's time for some Survivor talk. That's right. I can handle about 10 seconds of that, and then I'm done. Well, I mean, in fact, on our website, I put that the whole opener, all 120. I'm sorry, all minute and 20. Wait, all 81 seconds of it.
Minute. Okay.
I was going to say a minute and 20 seconds, and then I was going to say all 120 seconds. Forget it. Anyway, so all that's on our front page. It's kind of like the background. David probably hasn't looked at it because he never goes to our website unless I go, David, I did something on it. And then he goes, what? We
have a website?
Yeah, we have a website. All I do is get on the mic and talk. You mean you actually do stuff, Dwaine? Yeah, that's what I live with. So anyway, it's on there, but I had the option of turning the sound on. But you know how annoying it is when you go to a website and the video starts and the sound is and you can't find out where it is and you can't turn it off?
Oh, yes. I've done that many times.
I didn't want to do that to people. So it's just a cool looking background. Mm-hmm. And now it's got a watch live button just stuck in the middle of it.
Can't miss it.
Oh, man. So, David, I have some initial thoughts. I have 3, and I actually limited myself. I had more, but I decided to put them in the episode, later on in our episode. So how many do you have?
I'm going to call your 3 with my 3.
All right. So we called 3, and let's see. I went first, so I have to show my hand first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, Sandra, you have my attention. For the first time ever, David, first time ever, I actually want to go back and watch 2 seasons because she's in them.
Good.
I actually want to go back and watch her play because, Sandra, you're right. You are the queen. I bow to your survivorness.
Epic.
Yeah.
Epic. Let me share my first one if you're done. Is that your first one?
That was all she needed.
That was all she needed. Because I asked on Twitter last week, what happens if she wins again? What's higher than queen? And someone said Empress. And I totally agree.
Really?
Yeah. And I think she saw it. So I think she agrees. This is what I love about Survivor.
Yes.
The whole last third was what I love about Survivor. And it was because of her. And it was from the very beginning. I think the edit almost did a disservice to how dominant her scheme was with Varner and Michaela to get JT off. I just thought it was great. I loved this episode. It's my favorite episode so far. Oh, yeah. But this is what I like: the scheming, the backstabbing, the lying, the misleading, and then the blindside.
Yep.
Pure blindside. Loved it.
I could have watched the whole 42 minutes of just her on that tribe making all that happen.
And who gets away with looking at the camera?
I know. I mean, she's like, what are they going to say? I mean,
exactly. It's Sandra. What are they going to say?
She's the queen. I think I'll go black and white. Then we don't have the issue.
There you
go. See, that's what it looks like. See, David?
You've been on the beach too much. You need to get that sunburn down. All right. What's your second one?
Oh, man. My second one. Woo! Let me bring it up. CBS specifically shows us things, even cutting back 2 parts so that we don't forget what was said earlier. They're on to something, and they want us to notice it, right? Yes. Debbie asking to do balance, Debbie saying Brad made her do balance, and then it cuts back to Debbie saying I want to do balance, and then Debbie blaming Haley, and then Debbie saying she crossed in 2 minutes, and then David saying just over and over and over again.
That made my wife laugh out loud. She was actually watching that part, and they went back and showed us what she actually said.
Later on in the show, I have something to tell you that is amazing.
See, along with that, we must be on the same schedule here, because I thought I was watching the wrong episode because the challenge earlier on did not match the time frame that Debbie was giving us later on in the episode. I thought they showed a different challenge. I thought the editing screwed up and just showed us a challenge where Haley went quick and Debbie didn't even finish. But Debbie was saying that Haley took forever and Debbie got done in 30 seconds or wait 2 minutes or whatever it was. So
it was literally so crazy. Well, we're going to talk about that later.
Yes. Your third one.
Yeah, I know this camera thing's bugging the heck out of me.
I can tell. You're going to be doing push-ups before you're going to be so pumped when this episode's over.
I'm ready. Unfortunately, the audio people are going, shut up. I'm not watching you. All right, here we go. If there was a reward challenge with Clash Royale or backgammon, I would do as well as Zeke did on the slide puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what I play on my phone.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, he does too.
No, forget it. It's lost on you.
I didn't hear the last thing you said because I started
hit your head and bounced off.
Okay. No, it slid off.
There was a reward challenge with Clash Royale or backgammon.
Mm-hmm.
I would do as well as Zeke did on the slide puzzle because those are the games I play on my phone.
I heard all that. And then I said, Zeke does too. He even said it in the episode that he plays slide puzzles on his phone. Oh. And you're right. But the neat thing is I hate slide puzzles. I don't do slide puzzles very well. So Davis got this Rubik's Cube game that is a slide puzzle. You have to match the colors to match what comes up on the little box. You shake the dice and you get 9 colors and you have to match it in a slide puzzle. Yeah. I've avoided it like the plague because I hate slide puzzles.
So do I.
Until last night, he got me to do it during Survivor. Right before they did the slide puzzle, he asked it because he's getting ready to go to bed, wanted me to do it, so I stopped and did it with him because I love it.
Oh, so you paused Survivor?
I paused.
Okay, good.
And I did it, and I saw how he did it, and then I saw how Zeke and Sandra did it. Almost messed up there, and I thought, wait a minute, that's how you do a slide puzzle.
Yes.
So I said, hold on, bud, I can get back to Survivor. Let's do another one, and I did like 3 or 4. Now he beat me every time because he's super fast and uses 2 hands.
Yeah, well,
but I saw how you did a slide puzzle. And that was kind of revelatory. I was like, oh, I could probably practice this. So I might get that app on my phone so I can start practicing like Zeke did on his phone.
No.
All right. So my final initial thought is I haven't talked about it in a while, but David's Rules of Survivor, number 123, always bring your life-saving, vote-blocking, game-extending individual immunity idol to tribal, just in case you get an itch or in case the person you believe to be going home starts serving themselves a drink.
Yes, very nicely said.
Thank you. Now I know why you read a lot of your notes because when I read that, it came out a lot better than if I just said it.
Well, yeah. Well, I think on a previous episode, you called that rule number 98.5.
I've added more rules, so it got pushed back to 123.
Okay. So it's not as important as some of the other rules.
But you're probably right. I probably did say that like 5 years ago.
It's like while you said that, I was thinking, I wonder if he actually has 123 rules. And if he does, why is that one the last one?
Well, the trouble's going to be when somebody asks if I actually have the book. So that's going to be the problem.
Oh, Nuku Night 11. I love it when they show us the night after Tribal Council.
So what story does JT give that will convince Sandra and the rest of Nuku that he did not tip them off?
Well, no
possible story.
There isn't one.
Exactly. Ding, ding, ding. Dwayne gets the point for that. There is no story. There is no story that could convince Sandra that he did not tip them off.
Yeah. No, not at all. And he tried, but he wasn't very good at it.
No, not at all.
Sandra's sitting there going, are you kidding me? But I love how Sandra plays. She's like, oh, Sandra's not going to let him know.
It's like she was throwing knives to the other side of the camp, just past his head. As in, I could throw this at your head, but I'm just going to throw it past your head to let you know I have a knife. I can throw it, and I could hit you in the head, but I'm just going to say, how could Ty know to do this? How could Brad know to point to Sierra? How could Sarah know to take it to herself? I just can't imagine how I could know. And I love what Varner said. What else did you tell Culpepper?
That's right.
I'm like, GT, run! Run for your life.
That's right. And then at Tribal, he goes, Malcolm was the last person I wanted out. And I thought, really? So who was the first person?
Who did you want? Oh, anybody else here?
Yeah,
not Malcolm.
It doesn't matter who. I don't know what I meant. But Michaela's making camp life difficult. By the way, exactly. I think Mike K, whom I am not speaking to right now, is I think he has.
Mike K, you'll have to tell me how you did that.
I know how he did it. He has a notepad document with every possible hyperlink you could ever need, and he has it indexed. And you said 15, whatever, how to solve the 15 puzzle, and he went and clicked it. That's how he did it. Mike, you know I love you, but I'm still not talking to you right now.
Encyclopedia Mike.
And I might tell everybody why in just a little.
No, you won't. We're not going backwards.
No, I am going to tell people.
Survivor editing goes backwards. We're going forward.
Oh man. All right. So Sandra is buying it. JT, Brad messed up my best chance to get rid of Survivor of Sandra. So he says that in the confessional. Yeah, Brad really did, put him over. We already talked about that. But anyway.
Put on Brad.
And now Sandra has her eyes on JT.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having someone powerful in the Game of Thrones having their eyes on you.
Yeah, somebody with all the power. Yeah. I love what she said. If he knows me, like I said, his hands are all over this, but if he knows me, he is gone.
Yeah.
So 1, go find an idol. 2, take it to tribal.
That's right.
3, play it.
David, I have a very wise assessment of this situation.
I would love to hear it.
Last episode, Sandra, sand with an R on it.
Thank you.
Made her first mistake in 89 days of playing Survivor.
Tell me.
Mistake, 89 days.
Mm-hmm.
He's not due for another mistake for another 88 days. JT, you are going down. I'm telling you, I told Connie last night, that girl's going to win this 3rd time. If she does, there will be no other Survivor player that even comes close to her amazingness.
Well, there's not going to be a 2-time winner for another couple of years because if next season is all new players, which we don't know yet, but if it's all new players, I mean, we won't have a 2-time winner forever.
Yeah. Well,
so how relieved was she at the end of this episode? But anyway.
All right. So let's go to the next morning. They all slept well.
Mm-hmm.
I'll move over here. The Nuku Bistro. It's like Starbucks on the island. And Michaela.
Oh, no. More sugar than coffee.
No, it's not time for that yet. Sorry.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. First, JT needs to find an idol, and he does. Let the foil hats be taken off their shelves and placed upon heads. That JT found an idol just when he needed one. Go ahead, David. Have you talked to Andy today? Because if you have, you're all conspiracy theory.
I'm not going to say if I've talked to Andy today, because if I haven't, you won't believe me. And if I have, you'll just shut me down.
I know you do. I know you talked to him today.
I'm not even going to mention that. You brought it up. And to answer your question, Andy, it took 20 minutes for him to finally bring you up before I did. Anyway, no, I don't have a problem with this because this goes into what we talked about in the Facebook group about them putting the same clue at both camps, so that's fine. And I agree with, I think Mike said that, and I totally agree. It's very feasible. My question is, who's watching JT? The guy you just pointed out should be gone. Who is watching JT go after idols? Everybody's going sitting in the water. Why isn't someone watching JT? Now, the only thing I wish we'd gotten better editing of was I feel like they're doing a disservice to the rest of the tribe members when they don't show anybody else looking, because the only people that are looking for idols are the only people that say in their confessionals, I need to find an idol, and they go find an idol.
Right.
So why not just give us a few seconds of everybody out there looking for idols? Because we know they are.
Yeah, everybody.
It makes you feel like only JT and Ty and Troyzan went looking for idols.
It's like every time you need to go to the bathroom, you're looking for idols, hoping you don't go on the idol.
Going to the well, you're looking to trip over an idol. Exactly. Every place you go, you're looking for an idol. And maybe they're to the point where, well, we are in season 34. If they don't know they're out looking for idols, then they haven't watched enough. So I agree. But I still like to see people out there just to show us. Because if somebody's not looking, they're not playing very well.
That's right.
But anyway, so yeah, it happens. I don't have any problem with this. I don't have any buff on my head. We don't.
Oh, okay. Well, you will on the next one, so we'll just save it.
Okay, let's get there. Okay.
Oh man, shortest intro to date. It was literally
as short as our intro for this recap. I liked it.
Yeah. If you want to see the intro without all the music, I've already told you where you can do that. stwdd.com. Reward challenge day 12 on the amazing Reward Island, or better called the Island of Delusion.
It was so hot. They got delusional.
Demi. Okay. Anyway, what an amazing place.
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah. And Connie looked at me and she goes, "Oh, really? It's a big old sand thing out in the middle of the ocean and they're all dry." I said, "Connie, they don't walk out there. They get on a boat."
Because they don't walk on water, so they must ride on water.
And I told her, I said, "Connie, there are so many boats out there right now. They're all over the place." And she goes, "Oh, okay. Yeah."
Do you know how long they'd have to wait after they came out of the water from swimming to that island before they could actually start the challenge?
Yeah,
we're going to need some more time, more fans, more shade.
Yeah. We need some hair dryers.
All right. Beautiful.
All right. What an amazing place. Anyway, and I put, what a great place for a reward challenge or anything else for that matter. Ooh. First look at the new Mana tribe. Still here, Debbie says.
Yes.
One of the things, wait for it later on in the episode. Mm-hmm. It's coming. Mm-hmm. First look at the new Nuku tribe. Malcolm gone. Shock across the nation of Survivor.
Very much.
And of course, Hugh Ozzy to give us the ultimate insight on why Malcolm was a surprise.
Yes. Well, not across the entire Survivor fandom universe, because I was wondering last week who in the world put 20 points on Malcolm this week. And Mike K, I know we're talking about Mike K a lot. Mike gave me a great synopsis as to how he narrowed it down to like certain people because of size of tribes and stuff. So he put.
That was not a synopsis. It was a small book. He could have it published.
Anyway,
it was A equals B and B equals D, and D because of F went to G and H. And go ahead.
And then you have Malcolm, and then you have Malcolm.
Yeah.
so he narrowed it down, and he and a few other people got it right. So credit to them.
Y'all, this was really funny because every once in a while we suspect somebody of being spoiled. For example, a couple weeks ago, a guy on our YouTube page goes, "Wouldn't it be great if they put 2 tribes at tribal council and they all had to vote out one person?" and then the next week he goes, "Wow, it happened." Yeah. So, David, honestly, was it in a chat or was it on the Facebook group?
I think it was just in a chat.
Yeah, in a chat. And David's like, "Okay, I'm not believing all these people that put 20 points on Malcolm. There must be spoilers." Of course. Did you know Mike had put 20 points on him when you said it? No, of course not. And then
no, Mike didn't. Mike put a different amount.
Oh,
I don't think he got 20.
Oh, okay. So his story to you was after the point.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then it doesn't mean as much. I mean, anybody can look in hindsight and figure out how Malcolm goes home.
Well,
for example,
yes,
Brad messes with JT, and JT, anyway, forget it. No, actually, Mike's was very intelligent. Of course, it was good. All right, so Q Ozzy, he's you know what? This tribe had this challenge had a little bit of everything, and I liked it. It had the old grappling hook fishing, sand digging, or in Michaela's case, sand zooming or whatever. Balance and dexterity by 2 and a slide puzzle.
Mm-hmm. So did you pull up that Excel document?
I did. It's right here in front of me. I'm sure everyone else can see it too.
So if you look, you can't put it on the screen?
No, I can't put it on the screen, you idiot.
Maybe I'll share it on Facebook later. But if you I made a document that shows how each tribe did and how quick. Oh. So when you see the next name, that's when the person's name above them finished their task. So you see.
Did you have vacation day today or something?
No, I had a long lunch.
Oh, okay.
I watched this challenge during lunch, and I made this quick document.
Yeah.
I never take notes at challenges. And even Terry said last night, I think we should go back and watch that challenge just to see if she knows what she's talking about, because she's given like 3 different time periods for all these different things they've done.
Okay.
So this is the challenge where she said Haley took anywhere from 10 and she used a bad word on primetime TV.
Gosh.
Davis happened to be in the room, and after he taught me how to do slide puzzles for Rubik's Cube.
All right.
And but anyway, so there you can see, and I'll put it in the Facebook group later, but it just shows who went the quickest. It shows how fast Ozzy went across, because immediately you go to the next couple of people in his group.
All right. So, okay. So like Sierra was done first, obviously, because she does horses and she lassos them and stuff.
But Ty's name comes up first, so that means Sierra got done first.
Right. Sierra got done first, and then Ty got done before Sari, right? Oh, no. Then Sari's next.
Right. Then Sarah finishes, and then Sari starts. But then Ty finds the first bag before Varner finishes with his first bag.
Right. Okay, where is Debbie on here? Oh, there's Debbie. Look.
Is anybody below Debbie?
And Andrea, Zeke, Varner, Michaela, Aubrey, and Sandra all finished the whole challenge before Debbie got across.
Exactly. They finished their task. I mean, look at Aubrey. Aubrey had the same task as Debbie because they're color-coded for their task. I really had a long lunch. So Aubrey,
that is awesome. That is amazing. And Debbie thought that she breezed across the balance beam. Meanwhile, 6 people passed her up and won.
Haley cost them peanut butter.
That woman likes her peanut butter.
She does.
You've got to post this in our Facebook group. Okay. stwdd.com/Facebook is where you get there. And no, I'm not trying to make a lot of money promoting our Facebook group. I'm just trying to get you to go there and have fun. David, that was great. That was crazy. Playing for peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk. Okay, that I can go for. I like the cookies and the milk part.
And brownies. You didn't mention the brownies. There were brownies beside the cookies.
Well, sometimes they're brownie cookies. My wife makes brownie cookies. Oh, which are basically brownies flattened and put in a circle.
Good point. That's probably what they were.
Right. But I don't really want peanut butter and jelly sandwiches without milk or something.
Yeah.
I mean, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with a nice big glass of well water? No. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with a nice big glass of milk, whether you like it skim, 1%, 2%, or whole, just drinking that. If it's almond milk, get out of here. You can't milk an almond.
Hopefully Bailey heard that.
You do not get the right to eat a peanut butter jelly sandwich if you drink almond milk. I'm just kidding.
All right, if you want to see it, I just put it in our Facebook group. So it's there.
Did you put it as a file or did you put it as a?
I put it as a picture.
All right.
So you can click on it and look right at it.
We're about to move on. That reminds me, if you're a member of our Facebook group and you haven't read the guidelines, you need to do that because we kind of hold you to them. So, all right. What does CBS rarely show us before challenges, David? In fact, we comment on it often.
What do they show us before challenges?
No, what do they rarely show us during a challenge? Like, okay, before challenges, what do they rarely show us?
The winner.
No, we always say, I wonder how they decided to do this. I wish they would show us more of the strategy talk.
Oh, yes. They never show us who decides what and who does what when they pick players for different positions. Thank you, Dwaine, for pointing that out.
That's what's going on in David's head right now. All right.
No, I was loading the document. Stop.
Oh, of course. Well, and so I'm
not like you. When I do other things, I try to listen to you. When you do other things when I'm talking, you repeat them about 5 minutes later because you did not hear what I said.
Sorry, David.
All the time.
I'm sorry. Oh, gosh, I want to say something else, but that'd be like the 12th rabbit we chase. So I'm not going to do it because I don't want another bad review. All right, here we go.
But thank you. That's a great point that they never show us. But of course, it was pivotal for the whole episode.
Yeah, and that's my whole point. So we get a little bit of Zeke is good at slide puzzles, right? We get a little bit of Michaela kind of showing an attitude, right?
Yes.
And then we get Debbie. I have a really good sense of balance. I once was a professional balancer. Actually, she was a gymnast.
For 10 years.
Yes, I was a gymnast. I went to the gym once and got on a balance beam. I'm a gymnast.
No, but, she trained as a gymnast for 10 years. She never said she became a gymnast.
Right.
She just said she trained for 10 years.
Okay, technically, I've been working out now for like a year. I started a year ago and worked out for about a week, but I've been working out about a year.
All right, let's leave this. Talk to Debbie. Then she's very good.
Anyway, so she says, I have a really good sense of balance. And Brad says, oh, okay, then you balance. And Debbie is quite happy.
Smiles.
Yeah.
Big smiles.
Why is she happy? Because she gets to do what she wanted.
Now, how would they ever decide what to do or who gets to do what if one person didn't actually say, that's a good point, why don't you do that? What are you good at? Oh, that's a great point. Why don't you do that? And what are you? You're the editor, engineer, and director of all the podcasts. Why don't you take care of that? Mm-hmm. Does that make me the dictator? No, it makes me the what do you call it? The person that makes the conversation flow. Moderator. Just a moderator of a conversation.
Well, but whoever has last say, though, can be considered the leader. If, in other words, if you and I are having a discussion, although that's not fair because you and I, neither one of us is the leader of us. So if you and your kids are having a conversation, you get final word. So you're technically the leader. Right. But I see your point. But I also want to say that there are situations with tribes that really work together well, that they don't particularly have one person that says that's what we're going to do. They kind of group think it and kind of, okay, yeah. And they all say that that's a good idea.
That's called the Green Tribe this season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I was going to say something. I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. So I guess it doesn't matter. No, I was trying to hold the point in until you finished your great
almond milk.
No, it's not.
All right. Where are we anyway?
We're not even into the challenge yet.
So I wrote, Sierra's obviously going to do well because if you know Sierra at all, besides just being an incredibly beautiful woman when she's not on the island, she can lasso horses and stuff. Yes. She's always on her farm showing the new horses and things like that. And so I knew she was going to rock that whole lasso. Yeah.
Oh, I know what it was. Something we don't hear Probst ask as much anymore. It's not a rabbit. It's Survivor. Is that he used to ask tribes, who's the leader on your tribe? Remember when he used to ask that question? He doesn't ask that anymore. I wonder why. Or maybe we just don't hear it anymore.
Yeah. That's a good point. Michaela is obviously a professional digger. Although Debbie looked over at her and said, I could do that better.
I was trained as a digger for 10 years.
Yeah. She looks over at Brad and goes, I used to dig for a living.
but you know who's Michaela's biggest fan? Jeff Probst.
Oh, I was gonna say me.
My goodness. Anything she does with a lot of energy, which that's how she attacks things with a lot of energy. Yeah. He's just right there to call her out and say, great job.
Yeah. She goes, that's right. That's right, Probst. Or whatever she said. I don't know.
But then she slams the bag on the deck. Yeah. So Varner goes, what's up with that?
Yeah. Did he really? Because I didn't see that. Did he?
He said something. He goes, what was that? Or something like that. It's like, now we got to pick the bag up, then get the ball out and put it on the bow to get it across.
It's not bad enough Varner almost broke his leg last time he played. This time he's going to break his toe. So Probst, there goes Haley making her way over that first obstacle. Cut to Debbie.
Yeah.
Ozzy kicked butt on the balance, by the way. Seriously.
He kicked while he was walking. Yeah. He walked, kicked.
Yeah. He basically danced across it.
Yeah.
And whistled and sang at the same time.
Guys, I did that too fast. The camera guy didn't get me. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. The camera guy couldn't keep up. They had to tag team to film him.
The camera guy broke his leg trying to keep up with Ozzy.
Right. Haley finished her first beam, locked in, and kills the second balance beam. Mm-hmm. That's what Probst said. She's locked in.
Yep.
Probably took her all of 90 seconds to do the second beam. I mean, she was on it and off of it.
Well, if you look at the depth chart.
That's right. It's on the sheet that I'm looking at.
She started before. Well, she did start before JT and Ozzy, but she finished after them. So she wasn't the quickest.
All right. Well, they edited it so that it looked like she was amazing.
Oh yeah, now there's no time segments in here. This is just an order. So you don't really know the time that it took. Of course, Ozzy, his was not worth 3 empty blocks. His was half a block, and he was over. So,
all right. So
and give her credit. She went against 2 of the strongest challenge competitors in Survivor, in JT and Ozzy. That was her leg. So
I'm all about defending Haley. All about it. Because Debbie was a psycho woman.
Yep.
Or maybe it was the editing, David.
No.
I mean, we do have a friend who could help us with that.
We have a friend?
Yes. So Mana, you say Mana, I say Mana. Great, another feedback. Mana is kicking butt in the challenge. I mean, they are just kicking butt in the challenge until Debbie does her professional balance skills. Now, David, here I go. Drops 1, drops 2, drops 3. Meanwhile, other players are just passing her right up. Right? Aubrey even joins in on the balance beam section at the same time. And I'm sorry. That's after Zeke is already doing the puzzle before Debbie finally gets over the first balance beam.
Yep.
I know it's all in your document, but I wrote it down.
But yeah, she caught Debbie at the second leg, like you're saying, and then just went through it.
Your daughter wrote a professional digger of metaphorical holes.
I was gonna read that later.
What the heck?
It's about Debbie
going to college or something?
Yeah, she just declared her minor in creative writing.
Yeah,
so good for her.
So Aubrey joins at the same time, and Debbie drops 6, 7, and 8, and Aubrey finishes.
Wow, I didn't count how many drops. That's a good job.
And then Debbie dropped 9 and 10. And Probe says Debbie has lost a lot of time. Yeah, he would say that if she just zoomed across in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Even though it's only been 30 seconds, she's lost a lot of time.
Yeah. Yes, Mark, we know. Let's go ahead and read what Mark said. It has been talked about many a times on our podcast, but Mark makes a good point. Probe said on EW that they edit the challenge in such a way that it is representative of what really happened. I would question that towards the finish, but I could buy it otherwise. Well, that's not where I thought he was going with that. I remember talking to some survivors after certain episodes and things, and they would go, we had like 3 balls, but they showed us as having 1 at this time, so we know they edited it.
We even caught them once where they showed it much closer up on the beach, but then if you go back and look at a clip, they're still coming out of the water.
Right. And we caught that before Mike K did, so that was a huge moment in our lives.
We should have dropped the mic and walked away.
Yeah, we should have just stopped podcasting then.
Yep.
Love you, Mike, but I'm not talking to you. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Of course, I'm talking to you. But anyway, here we go.
This is the longest we've ever talked about a challenge.
I know. Well, it's a good one.
It was a really good challenge.
Everyone did. Ooh, distortion. Everyone else is working on the puzzle. Zeke wins. Debbie is still not over the beam. Drops 11, drops 12, drops 13. Debbie fails again, Probe says. Brad says she was adamant about doing it, wasn't she? Yes. Sandra finishes. Eventually, Debbie makes it, and Haley does what when she makes it?
She's waiting for and says, "Yay, you finished."
Yeah, she was an encourager. Meanwhile, Debbie's going, that only took me 30 seconds, and it took you 20 minutes. You lost our peanut butter, and I'm ticked. Okay, that was worth watching the YouTube. I'm sorry. That was worth it right there. Seriously, though, I mean, Haley's there encouraging her. I mean,
but that's the person that you have a real problem with. And she says it's Brad, but I think she has one just as much with Haley because she feels like Haley's taking her place. And that's the person standing there with, yay, you finished finally. Everybody else is eating already and they've left the beach, but yay, you finished.
I just finished reading Christine for the first time in 30 years. And Debbie reminds me of Christine.
Uh-oh.
Christine's the car, Haley makes her bad, and now Christine is going after Haley.
Yes.
And Bailey. No, not Bailey. Debbie, once again, we lost, and we don't strategize. It's a dictatorship. Brad just telling people what positions are going to take. CBS cue to telling Brad she has a sense of balance, and Brad saying, okay, doing what she wants. Thank you, CBS. Thank you. Now,
how often did you do that?
I know. I mean, the next thing you know, at the reunion show, they're going to pull out other audio of her and play it and totally surprise her.
Because, that would be, oh boy, that would be so funny to watch that. Well, that's not what I meant, Jeff. Yeah. What I meant was, but it's like when somebody goes to testify and the first thing you show or play is a video of this person lying.
Yes.
And it's like everything else you have to say after this is useless because you just showed that you will lie. No idea what you're going to say the rest of the time or whether it's true. So you might as well sit down.
Yeah.
Go balance over there.
Yeah. Name changer Patrick says, name changer Patrick. That's because Patrick never goes by the same name. So many different names. Patrick is the one who originally got our website up and running. And he just, boy, he did a great job. So anyway, he says, Sandra says, I sure like me some sandwiches. Oh, Kim DeCenzo, you are a smart woman, but I'm not telling everybody that until later on in the show. All right, day 12.
Okay, I think we should preface this with a spoiler warning.
We don't have spoiler warnings.
Because I think this next scene is so prophetic of what the rest of the season is going to tell us.
Right.
I just do. So go for it.
Oh, okay. Wait, we're hearing from Sarah? What? That's what I have. Yeah, Sarah for the first time.
They're enjoying their rewards, and Sarah gets another confessional, which I think is a calm, well thought out, thorough confessional. We're a tribe that started from scratch. She's exactly right. They had nothing. Good point. We have banded together. They have, like you said earlier, not necessarily a leader. They all just work together. And when you win, it's easy to work together.
Yes.
We're dominating, but I don't want to get overconfident. Great survivor point.
Mm-hmm.
Always be ready in the event something crazy happens. I need options. Hello.
I know.
That's brilliance.
And then she goes and talks to Troyzan.
Yep. I love what she said. Don't stop working or the girls will get suspicious.
That's right.
And I thought, where are the guys? Or are the girls the only ones paying attention?
Well,
to what Sarah's doing?
Probably is that she and the girls are kind of connecting and talking. Yep. And they've all kind of agreed probably, hey, let's do the whole girl thing. And so if she's talking to a guy, they're going to be like, are you betraying the whole girl thing?
Yes. I mean, that's probably a question of who's going to talk to Troy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. That's a good point. And look who the girls are. Sari and Andrea. Hello. Two people that have played several times and are not dumb.
Yeah. And Troyzan, I mean, Troyzan, he's saying whatever he needs to. He's just thrilled he's not going home.
I love it.
He's just like, thank you for talking to me.
Yeah, thank you for winning all the challenges. Y'all keep
so
sitting
funny.
me out.
Yeah, it was so funny. She's like, act like you're working so they don't do it. He's kind of holding the stick, just kind of going.
Trying to break the same stick.
Are you going to save me? What do you want me to do with this stick? Anyway,
I wish she had approached him with his back to her when she said, have you talked to anybody else? And he would have said, no, you're the only person I trust. Then he turns around. Hey, Sarah, whoever you are, you're the only person I trust.
Yeah. Okay, David, this is what I want for Christmas. Actually, my birthday. I'm going to turn 48, David, which I know is a lot younger than you, but I'm going to turn 48 in less than 2 weeks. April 11th, 48 years old. April 11th.
Way to drop the birthday date out there.
That's right. Hey, we have a PO box. Just saying. I have a PayPal account. Just saying. All right. I want some Troyzan underwear. I don't want him in them, but I want
I could probably get him to send you a pair.
Well, I mean, his underwear would fit on one leg. So I need larger versions of Troyzan underwear.
There you go.
Right?
He's not afraid to wear it.
And he wears it well. He's got the thinnest little legs, though, doesn't he?
He does.
All right. Anyway, no, seriously, man. I love that. I love that underwear. And it's some cool underwear. Also, I've decided, David, I'm going to stop trying to match all my socks. I'm going to start just wearing goofy socks. There you go. Because if you're wearing goofy socks, people don't look at you and go, your socks don't match. They go, oh, cool, goofy socks.
And also, if you're never have to wear the same pair twice. That's Gracie's theme when she was here. She never wore the same pair twice because they all mixed. They were all mixed match socks, so she never wore the same pair twice.
David, we literally have. I'm sorry, those of you who don't like rabbit chasers, we're chasing today. I'm sorry, but we literally have 2 large baskets full of unmatched socks that literally we can't find the matches to.
Really? Yes. 2 baskets.
I mean, they're probably in there somewhere, but
say just pick 2 and just wear them. So
It takes like 4 hours to go through them. All right.
But what I loved about this scene was that I just really felt like we were seeing something in the future. And what I predict, and you and I have no inclination of what's coming down the pipe. We know nothing about what's coming except for what we saw next week on.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that it's going to flip next week, and Sarah's going to be the one who could be in the minority. Troyzan will be back in the majority, but Sarah has an out in Troyzan.
Well, sure. Well,
I think it's going to
around because they're dropping busts next week. We don't know what's going to happen.
Right. We don't know how many or to what, but I think it's going to flip, and Sarah's going to be the one in trouble, and Troyzan's going to be the one that can work with her.
Well, maybe so. That, and that preview was very interesting. I don't think the player that's coming back is going to be in the game, though. I think it's just someone that's going to come back and do something.
I think I know who it is, but if I tell you who told me, you'll get mad.
Dude.
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, because like we talked to one person who comes on our show a lot. Well, now that just might have given it away, so I won't say anything. But they said that they didn't need to come on the show because they know some things. So we have people that know things, but they know not to tell us.
Yeah.
Except for the guy on YouTube. So anyway, Debbie is so upset at the Mana tribe.
I will tell at the end of the podcast who our friend thinks it is, so I don't want to give it away in case people want to be a surprise. So I'll tell it at the end.
You want to do it like after the music?
Yeah, very end. Yeah, just remind me to do it at the end.
I won't remember, but okay. So Crazy Camp, aka the Mana Tramp.
Go ahead.
Day 12. She is just delusional, David. And see, here's the thing. She's incredibly upset. And I realize I'm telling you something you don't know, but she was so upset. And they are literally sitting there going, why is she upset? I mean, do you think she's upset with herself for doing so horribly on the balance beam? What could it possibly be? I mean, they literally have no idea why she's upset.
I wrote down that Debbie picks up her things and walks out of the game.
Yeah.
No, she just walks out of camp. But
and she walks back.
Yeah. And tells them all just to have, and all of them. She tells all of them just to talk without me. And when I'm gone, give my stuff to Haley, since she's obviously taking my place. But I laughed for a moment, and then I didn't laugh because Ty goes, I think Debbie is upset. And I said, yeah, Captain Obvious. I think she's upset too. But in Ty's defense, Brad said to Sierra, is she acting? So Debbie, I think, puts on fronts, plays up a little bit, jokes about stuff. I think Debbie's very funny, and I think she's going to act up and ham up. I'm sure she does. So Ty's comment to me now is more personal in that I think she's really upset. I don't think she's acting. I don't think she's playing with us. I think she's really upset. So I don't joke Ty on this comment anymore. I think he was being serious because Brad brought up the fact, is she acting?
All right, then stick with me here, David. Seriously.
I'll try.
There is a point later on in the show when they're going back to the Mana tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the music sounds very similar to, like it's an homage to Lost theme.
I was thinking Psycho.
No, Lost. Because you got to stick with me here.
Yeah.
Right? What was one of the main stories of the thousands of them? One of the main stories was the con men and the con women.
Yes.
Right? So what if this is all a big con? It's a long con that Debbie's pulling, and Survivor knows it, and CBS knows it. So they're putting a little bit of Lost music in there for those who are smart enough to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this is just a joke. I mean, the last thing she said, she ended up with some really weird maniacal laugh, like she was going crazy. Maybe it's a con.
Yeah. After you broke my heart, she looks at Sierra and does this goofy laugh, smile thing that makes you feel like, I've got him. I got him thinking that I'm just so mad at him.
Yeah. And then Sierra went and put sand in her eyes to
take a Thai bath here.
So, hey, it's a possibility that she was, this is a long con.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Maybe so. So, let's see. Brad said Haley rocked the balance beam and Debbie blew it. And then here's the thing. Let's go on the assumption that she's not conning because it's more fun. All right. Sierra and Haley genuinely go to try to help her, right?
Yeah.
To talk to her because they don't know what's going on. They can't figure out why she's upset. And Debbie attacks them. It's like they went to pet a snake and the snake bit them.
Right.
He got his head so far up your beep, his eyeballs are sticking out of your mouth. And Haley's like, wait, what? Me?
What? Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Yep. I got you. I'm with you on that one. The only predictable thing about Debbie is that she's unpredictable. So that was Brad's neat comment.
A point against the whole con thing, unless she was conspiring with CBS, is she's saying these crazy things during confessionals. Well, I guess that wouldn't really play against a con because a con would do that. But she says, Haley did horrible on the balance beam for 20 minutes. I zipped across it in 30 seconds.
Yeah, but no, I think your point's pretty solid in the fact that she knows what they want. There's a certain type of person that gets picked for Survivor, and it's not somebody that's going to walk in the woods and quietly look for things and not speak. They want people that like to talk and that will narrate. Like JT later on saying, I'm afraid to put my hand in there. He's speaking exactly what he's thinking, and that's what they want to see. I think Debbie knows this, and I think Debbie's also going to blow things out of proportion when she wants to, because it might look entertaining, it might look silly, but at the same time, it's a character, it's a story. But I don't know. I think it could be both, but it just seems to me like it was an act to some degree. You know,
yeah, I'm starting to wonder. Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll find out.
We're not the only people that are wondering.
No,
but we also got to hedge our bets. So we got to say one thing at one time, and then later on in the show say the other thing, so we can play the correct clip when it all comes out.
Now you're thinking,
right? So then we get, then Ty tries. Look, if Ty thinks you're crazy, you might be crazy.
When he was talking to her and then did his confessional, and he said, when she was getting really upset, I was about to laugh my head off at the way she was talking. And Ty goes, I was getting scared.
Yeah. She's like a crazy lady.
Yeah.
Oh. And the most awkward moment of the entire episode, the entire season, and the entire Survivor franchise, her doing push-ups
to relieve the tension.
Just like, can you imagine if you and your wife are having a discussion, an argument or whatever, and she gets so mad she just starts doing push-ups? I'd be like, what are you doing?
She'd get more mad when I started laughing.
Like, what the heck are you doing? Oh my goodness. But I mean, it's just like everybody was sitting there like, is this really happening? Is this a movie? Are we in a different time? Are we on the other side, the upside down world?
That's why the theory is out there. And the fact that the producers are sitting there going, man, this camp has just gotten boring. Debbie's like, I'll fix that.
Oh, so maybe she's just wanting camera time.
Never know. Because even I like what Haley said about Brad's leadership and challenges. He's helpful, he's encouraging, and he's good in challenges. So I don't care if he's leading us. It's not not a target on my back.
All right, I'm going with it. It's all a con. She's going to come back later on and go, I was just kidding because I'm a professional actress. Seriously, I'm beginning to move more towards it was a con.
I'm with you on that one. I like what Ty said. Debbie thinks she's great at everything, but she's not.
Right. Now, at the beginning of our episode, weren't we both on the idea that she was just crazy, but now we're both kind of leaning towards she may be conning us, or she is trying to con us?
Well, this con is a little crazy. So I don't think she's crazy. I think she's very out there, that she is willing to do this, not only for the show, but just to, I don't know, maybe she's somebody she'll think they'll want to keep her around for that. She's not a threat. I think this is more her just doing it because she wants to do it.
I know, but did you think that at the beginning of our episode? Or have you come to that conclusion?
Did I think that it was a con at the beginning?
I never even considered a con at the beginning of our episode.
No, I wasn't necessarily thinking it was a con at the beginning.
I was just wondering if you and I are getting there at the same time. So
I think you convinced me.
It's always good. Get there at the same time. So confessional, Haley did horrible for 20. What's wrong? Haley did horrible on the balance beat for 20 minutes. Okay. Ty tries, already said that. Most awkward moment, already said that. Golly. Oh, Brad handles this so well, unless he's in on it. But Brad handles it really well. He's like, okay, this woman's crazy, but I'm going to be calm.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Super calm.
Debbie.
So calm. Good on Brad.
Yeah. Good job, Brad.
Because that doesn't do anything but irritate people more when you're calm and they're not.
Do you need any help getting up from your push-ups? Because I'm here to serve you. Shut up. All right. And enough of Davey. Nuku, day 13. This is where where she really does think she's at Starbucks. I would like 7 drips of coffee and a spoonful of sugar, please. Which I don't think is she likes sugar and she likes the hint of coffee in it. I mean, that's not really a crazy request if you're not already irritated with her, right? If you and Michaela are like best buds on the island and she does that, then you laugh and you joke around with her about it. But when you're already irritated with her and you want the target off of you, then it becomes she's crazy woman.
Right. But Mike, I'm more on the flip side of JT. What's more important, to make someone out to be a villain within the group or just to get on everybody's good side? Because he's zeroed in on one person. Unfortunately, he's zeroed in on Sandra's left-hand lieutenant, to try and get off, and it hurts him later.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, dude, you need to get along with people.
Yeah.
You never know when somebody else could go Debbie on them and they decide to get rid of Varner or they decide to get rid of Aubrey,
Okay. But I don't know that Michaela is Sandra's, right arm.
Yeah.
I think Michaela is a convenient pawn for Sandra's plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because later on, when she's talking to Michaela, she still doesn't tell her everything, and she still acts like, I need to talk to Varner. She already knows she's got Varner, right? Yeah. And so she's playing Michaela too. She's playing everybody.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that. Good point.
Yeah. So this irritates JT, and Sandra jumps all over that opportunity, right?
Yep.
This is where I start thinking Sandra is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's taking gameplay to a whole nother level, or they just don't ever show us people playing this well. She goes all the sugar, all of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sure enough, JT blames Michaela.
I love Varner's look.
And Varner agrees with him, even though he knows.
So you don't remember Sandra dumping the fish?
No, I don't remember her episode.
When she thought she was getting voted out, she somewhat sabotaged some things at camp so that nobody else could have it if she wasn't going to have it. And then she didn't get voted out.
Yeah.
That's Sandra.
Well, I'm enjoying it, man. So she eats all the sugar. JT's blaming Michaela. And of course, Michaela gets angry at him. So at this point, Michaela doesn't realize that she is going to be saved by the queen. She's going to get a pardon by the queen because the queen has something else to do. So the enemy of my enemy is not my enemy. That's or crazy. Whatever the phrase is.
Yeah.
All right. Mana, day 13. This is where we get some eerie music. It's not the Lost music yet, but it's very eerie.
This is, I was thinking like the Psycho House music, like something was going to build up to. This is what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. But the next one is the Lost, play off the Lost theme, in my opinion. Same chord progressions or same chord feels, things like that.
So here we go once again, unless you got a big statement to read. Here we go once again with the tension in the room. Ty feels the tension. Not sure where he's fitting in. Really? Because you just saved Sierra and you worked with Brad. I think you're fitting in pretty well.
Yeah.
But I need to do something to make my game more secure. I need an idol. Yeah. So while everybody sits at camp and does nothing, I'm going to go out and look for a clue in these woods that are so big and so hard to look through.
It's like a jungle out there.
It's like a jungle out there. And I've checked. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's an idol clue.
Yeah.
So he finds an idol.
He's like, cameraman, why won't you go with me down the rest of the trail? Oh, no reason.
Why is there a tripod set up by that tree over there? So, but
why is there special lighting right over there?
Yes. Why is there a lamp in the tree? So
why are there arrows pointing in the direction of the tree?
So I love the clue for this idol because it's a riddle. And to find the idol that can save your game, you'll need to soak a wooden board. When your tribe motif magically appears, dig below and see if you scored. Now, I have another question for you about this riddle.
Mm-hmm.
To find the idol that can save your game.
Oh.
Some idols give you immunity.
Yeah.
Some idols, after the votes are read, can save your game.
I don't think that's what it is.
I hope not. But I mean, it seems like every twist in every episode, they're tightening the screw a little bit, taking it up just another notch. Next week we get one of my least favorite things in the world with Exile Island, but
I like Exile.
Whatever. I don't know. I didn't dawn on me till tonight when I was rewatching, and I wanted to get the words for the clue. And I read that first line, and it just said the idol that can save your game. And I thought, maybe this could be the super idol.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, never mind.
Would you do me a favor? Because I'm really very interested in figuring out this clue. Would you copy and paste it into our message thing?
Sure.
Because I want to kind of discuss this clue and try not to look at the chat room where I'm sure it will be divulged what the clue means and where the idol is and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to look over there because I told him I wasn't going to talk to him. Mike's being a good sport about all this. He keeps like throwing winky faces in there, because he knows what I'm talking about. All right, David's copying him. Okay, to find the idol that can save your game, you'll need to soak a wooden board. Okay, doesn't say which wooden board. When your tribe motif magically appears, okay, what's the tribe motif?
The symbol of the tribe, the symbol of his group.
Dig below and see if you've scored. Okay, that means it is a piece of board that is in a fixed location.
Stationary, yes.
Right. It's not like, so if he starts walking around picking up random boards, then to go ask a producer.
And of course, the next scene they showed, I think he was walking up either to the well or the mailbox. And there was a blue symbol painted on one of the pieces of wood. And I was thinking, is that, does he need to soak that? And or does he need to soak a plain piece of wood? I don't know.
I would think it's a plain piece of wood and he's going to soak it and the thing comes up.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise it's just look for a piece of wood with your motif on it.
True.
But I think the water thing could be a clue that it's by the water.
Or will be. Yeah. Close to a water source.
Yeah. All right. So David puts on his tin hat. Andy, I know, is tin hatting it right now. So
no, this was not a 10. This is the next clue. I like that it's not the same clue. This is the next idol because the other idol's been played.
But
so Ty's right. And what the producer said, do you think there's another idol? And Ty said, yeah. So once you say that in the form of a question and answer, I think there's going to be another idol in place. So I'm going to go look for one because I need one.
But I thought y'all would be all crazy because Ty lost one. So they gave him another one.
No, he didn't lose it. It was played.
Forget it. I thought y'all would be like, Ty got another one because they don't want Ty to leave.
We just want you to think that.
Oh, okay. Immunity challenge.
It's all the long con.
Are you ready for the immunity challenge, David?
Sure.
All right. At this point, only Mana and Nuku, now that I've said it both ways so much, I think it is Mana, by the way, have had, they are the only two tribes that have had enough airtime to amount to anything.
Yeah.
So, Tavua is not going to lose.
Right.
All right. Debbie takes charge this time, turns her back on everybody. Although she still didn't get her way.
Yeah, she decided. She's how you like that. I have decided.
I'm gonna take my ball and go home unless y'all take it away from me and make me come back.
Okay, well, you're not doing the balance, so forget it.
Yeah. And then again, she says, I was on there for 2 minutes. She was on there for 10.
Yep, I read that too.
Yeah.
Not according to my spreadsheet, but go ahead.
She is a con woman. She needs to get her stories straight.
If you tell a lie often enough, people start to believe it's true.
Yeah. And of course, she has a bad attitude the whole entire trial until the entire challenge, until of course they win. And then she's all happy.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice, Brad? I was the first one over. Yeah, first one down.
I love what Brad said. I love you. I don't know why you're so mad at me.
I don't know why you're acting like
Good
that.
attitude, Brad. What would Monica do? She would say, I love you.
Yeah. All right. So 100 sandbags. What the heck?
I guess they were counting on them missing quite a few.
I mean, that is a lot of sandbags. Anyway, Ty falls off and Debbie says, did you write this down? Because I wrote it all down.
No.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we didn't send the gymnast. I mean, really, I seriously am. I'm sick of having to defend myself.
She's playing it well. Carry on.
So here's where I'm revealing. I think I might have to do another episode pre-audio this week. a Debbie montage,
Yes.
which means you're not getting the podcast in the morning.
Oh.
But here's the deal about the podcast in the morning. I have a certain amount of space I am allowed to use during a month.
Mm-hmm.
And because we have the schedule has gotten us with like more than our normal amount of episodes in a month, I am very close to going over. And if that's the case, I will not be allowed to post until Saturday. Unless I spend like $30 for a 12-hour period. And I'm not going to do that.
No.
Unless, you donate $30, which you're not going to. And I still wouldn't do it. So don't donate. Anyway, so you might not get the episode until Saturday. Anyway, we'll see what happens. All right, let's see. Ozzy not living up to his reputation there for a while, but he does end up redeeming himself. Mana wins immunity. Debbie is all of a sudden happy again.
Yeah.
And at this point, it is obvious to me that Nuku is going to lose, and they do.
And Michaela gives the also obvious exit confessional, which meant it wasn't her going out.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. We are about to get to the best part of the whole entire show. We're not quite there yet. We got one more segment, but then we're there. Yep. Mana, day 13, we get the whole Lost music stuff going on. Well, that's kind of weird. Wait, is that Mana? My mind is going crazy. Nuku. So forget the Lost music stuff. I must have written that in the wrong space.
Yeah.
I meant Nuku, day 13. David, I was conning you, and it worked.
I almost fell for it.
Time for the queen to do her magic, my friend. It is time. JT is talking with the 4, and Aubrey is obviously for it. Varner's going along, and then Sandra sets her trap. I mean, do you want to go over this, or how about you go over it, and I'll just interject. She sets her trap. Go.
Well, JT does the right thing and apologizes when they get back, and then it's funny that Aubrey doesn't even know the tribe name. She's so not invested in this other name. She doesn't even know the name. And then JT pitches to everybody but Michaela that they should keep him over Michaela because she stole the sugar. He's better at challenges, all that good stuff. And unless he gets scared, and then Sandra says, why would you get scared? You're pretty much one of us now. Why would you even worry about getting scared? JT's like, I don't even have to take my idol if I had an idol. And
there's something else she did before that.
She, what did she do before that? Interject.
Well, he's laughing about the whole sugar thing, and she starts laughing and goes along and calls her the sugar napper.
Yeah.
Right. And then she goes, you better not have me laughing at tribal. She's acting like she's JT's best friend.
Exactly. And the fact that Varner's so into it, like, absolutely. And JT's making a great argument. Let's go with strength over attitude. He wants to babysit this place, and there's it's too much work. And like, I'm all down for that. Varner was right in there. Didn't even hesitate. I'm all in for that.
Yeah. If we ever play Survivor, David, and Sandra's on there, never say anything bad to her. Never act like you're going to vote her out.
Nope.
She's winning. You might as well let her.
But I think you're right. It's Sandra and then Varner is her number 2. I think the whole end of this segment was editing to make us think that Varner wasn't going to. Was actually thinking back and forth, but Sandra and Varner, I think, are super tight.
I actually wrote that. Varner has no intention of voting out Michaela, but he needs to say it to build suspense. They probably had to twist his arm and make him say it.
But I love that he brought up, what if he has an idol?
Yeah.
And what we didn't hear was Sandra saying, honey, we've sunk in this script so well, he's not even going to bring it if he does.
So Sandra talks to Michaela, and like I said, she's pulling the puppet strings on Michaela.
Oh, yeah. Look, let me go talk to him for you because I really want to keep you. You're so good to be around. I love having you around. JT's just not worth it. And if he gets Varner's vote, let me go do this for you. Yeah. Let me go save you, like you said.
Right. Well, and she's acting like she doesn't really have it all under control. Like, like Sandra's like, I'm not sure if this is going to work. I got to go talk to Varner. I'd like to keep you, So anyway.
I'll do what I can.
Right. I love it. All I know how to do is get to day 39.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Sandra and Varner, of course. Varner has no intention. Let's go to one of the most amazing tribal councils just for the fact of the strategy, and they let us see it. They let us see probably more than they usually let us see. And I think they did that for a reason. Anyway, let the Oscar performances begin, David. Best Actress, Michaela. Best Supporting Actress, Sandra.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Go along and give Varner an award too, because he was all about agreeing about,
He was all about being quiet and agreeing.
Attitude. Yeah.
He didn't really do a whole lot of acting compared to Michaela and Sandra.
Right.
He would be an honorable mention. Michaela sticks with the whole "I'm voting out JT" line, right?
Right.
Sticks with it the entire tribal council. Sandra takes the "I'm voting out Michaela" line, except for the one time where Michaela goes, "Has anyone ever seen me bring food? I've seen her bring food. Has anybody ever seen me wash dishes? She does wash dishes, you know." So, but that's not really. But if I was JT, I wouldn't really think of that as you are supporting her. You were just saying that you have seen it.
But you left out the third one though. She's washed dishes, she's prepared food, and she has served Sandra.
Oh,
that's how you find your place in the kingdom, is
that's
to
right.
serve the queen.
Okay, how about this? Oh, go ahead. Do you want to say what she said about keeping our strongest player in the game?
Oh yeah, we're gonna keep our strongest player and move forward. We're gonna work with him. Yeah, move forward with him. Exactly. I knew there was a him in there somewhere. I forgot where to put it in. Yeah. But it's so blatantly obvious. I'm like, dude, please have your idol. You'd better have that idol.
Wait, you think it's obvious?
Oh yeah.
No, obvious to us, but I don't think it was obvious to him at all.
Oh no, not to him at all. No, he was totally duped. No,
right.
He didn't even bring his idol.
Right.
So no, but it was obvious to us. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, not only she sold it so well at camp that he didn't even bring it.
Yeah.
She didn't know he didn't bring it, so she sold it all the more at tribal council.
I was gonna say they had the votes, not knowing if he had an idol. They still sold the script all the way through tribal council.
I mean, it's almost like her and Michaela had rehearsals in the woods.
They probably did.
You know? I mean, just, oh my gosh. Because can't you just hear them going, "Oh, and Sandra, then I'm going to pull out my water and pour it in a cup," and just kind of,
Bye, Felicia.
So Michaela playing her role well, she puts JT in her place. Has anybody ever seen me? Anybody ever seen me?
Yeah.
Then he asked Sandra, Probst asked Sandra, so does he speak for you? I do listen to what JT says. He makes valid points about us moving further in the game. Again, reinforcing that into JT.
Yep.
To the point that he's talking smack.
Yeah.
We need game changers. Some are game changers. Some are just taking up space. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much. Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
And poor Aubrey.
Yeah, but you know what? Aubrey handles this very well. We're going to talk about that in a second.
She does, but I think it was smart not to say anything to bring her in, because I think they saw that she was talking to JT more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't risk that.
So why take that chance?
Exactly.
So I mean, it seems like I'm saying everything. Did you write some stuff down about tribal?
No, you've pretty much covered it. I mean, it was just, to me, it was just the act. It was the final act. They all played it very, very, very well, and JT missed it, and Aubrey missed it. But the three of them just carried it to the end.
Yeah. But I wrote a little bit more. I love Michaela's confidence and swag, even when, she's looking at Jeff, and you can just tell she's confident. She's got some swag. She says just enough, and then he says, "Michaela, is the vote clear to you? It's not like it matters.
Yeah.
I know I'm going home." And JT, "That's right. Sugar babe."
She's got so much confidence that she will do a confessional that says, "This was the challenge that got me voted out last time, and here we are again. Surely it won't happen a second time."
Mm-hmm. It can't happen a second time.
And the cameraman's like, "Are you sure you want to say that?"
Yeah. She's like, "Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
I'm Michaela."
And Sandra told me to say it.
And Dwaine thought I was awesome and wanted me to play well. So time to vote. David, we've seen some really good blindsides. This was not only a good blindside, but the fact that they let us see it happen.
Yeah.
Like they weren't trying to hide the vote from us. That's what it is. CBS wasn't hiding the vote from us. They were showing us Sandra and Michaela playing JT.
Yeah.
Do you think the average viewer caught that? Or do you
I hope that they threw out the one little tidbit of Varner saying I'm in the middle, but anybody that's seen more than one season knows that that was just a fill in the blank. Got to have our one spot that could go either way.
Yeah.
I like what he said. I'd like to vote them both out.
Yeah.
I'll vote both ways if I can. So,
of course, Sandra votes and says queen stays queen.
Yep.
No idol is played, and the fun begins, David. Michaela breaks out the cup, breaks out the water. Like, I'm just another day at the tea place, you know?
Yep.
Go ahead and read the votes. I'm not worried. Making a big
Bistro.
deal about it. That's why I love her. Anyway.
Yeah, she's still got to work on her social game, though. But anyway.
Yeah. JT's fifth person, and Michaela looks back and flips her hair.
I love what she said. Tell Malcolm you're the reason he's there.
That's right.
I will, because I am.
Yeah, he's like, you got me. Yeah.
I was waiting for him to turn around and say, yeah, I told him about Sierra. My fault.
So Michaela and Sandra literally look at each other and just die laughing. And and Aubrey like figures it out, gameplay, and she goes, "You guys are good." You know, give them props right then. You know,
yeah, because she's not saying that you all lied to me. I just bought what y'all were selling.
Yeah,
because I was never in on the conversation, which is absolutely fine that y'all didn't include me because you didn't need my vote. Man, you guys were so good in that. Oh, that was great.
And Aubrey did not burn bridges whenever she was talking about Michaela. She didn't burn the bridge. She said very nice things about Michaela, you know, so that's a bridge that's not burned.
I think if you say a half word negative to Michaela, it's a bridge burned.
Okay. Well, at least there's a glimmer. There is a small piece of wood still there. All right. Anyway, so Sandra fesses up to eating the sugar, which was quite hilarious.
Yes.
All right. Anything else about that episode? Or that trial?
No, that was a great episode. I loved it. Good challenges, great tribal council, great script, great performance.
Yeah. The only thing that I know some people will say, I haven't read any of the feedback or listened to any of it because that's David's job. The only thing that I think some people might say is we didn't get to hear enough of one particular tribe. But, you know, it's kind of hard to hear from that tribe, except for, you know, Sarah and Troyzan doing their thing. Whenever Debbie's acting like a psycho and they got to set us up for the whole JT Sandra thing.
Yeah, she was a scene stealer. She pretty much had all the camera people around her.
Yeah. Anyway, next time on, hello, everybody drop your buffs. Exile Island, why don't you like Exile Island?
Because I don't like separating people from the game. I mean, you get chosen to go, but at the same time, you have to work at the game of being social, even if you're in the minority, even if you're by yourself. Troyzan doesn't have an idol. He gets sent there, and if there's not an idol there, it's only going to make things worse. He's the more obvious boot.
But there will be an idol there. They're not going to send someone to Exile Island without something there that's going to make their game amazing.
I know. You just still have to find it, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of Exile Island. But I guess it's better than Redemption Island, but yeah.
Do you remember when Exile Island had like a 5-hour clue game to find the idol?
Yeah.
Swim out 300 yards.
Ozzy went there with somebody, and the other person gave up. I don't think it might have been Suri.
Yeah.
But they just stopped. Or I don't think it was Suri. It was somebody, it was a lady, but she just stopped in a log, and Ozzy kept going.
Yeah.
Until he found it.
Find the black snake if he's still there.
Yeah.
He goes, Exile. Oh, go ahead.
No. It wasn't Suri because it was in the South Pacific season. Go ahead.
All right. Exile Island, one castaway is left stranded. And Mike K, who I'm not speaking to, wrote on our Facebook group, I'm sure he's found out by now, Troyzan, Andrea, Sandra, and Ozzy are the 4 people who were shown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dadgummit, Mark. Well, I guess if Jeff Probst said it, then it's fair game. Jeff Probst said it, so here you go. The returning player is joining whomever goes to exile, according to Jeff Probst. There you go. You heard it here after everyone else. Mark, was that in his interview with Dalton? Was that like a written thing, or did he say it? I mean, obviously he said it, but was it written or was it video? That's very interesting. So the returning player is joining. So is this a person? This isn't someone that's already been on the season.
It's not somebody joining the game.
That's what it.
No, it says they're joining them on Exile Island, maybe to talk to them. To greet them.
Yes. So it's kind of like Mark goes, "It is written."
I was about to say the same thing. It is written.
It is written in the days of Survivor that therefore on Exile Island. Yeah, Kim wrote, "So let it be done." Anyway, okay, so that's like, oh, I know who it is. Are you ready?
Sure. So are we gonna do this now? Go ahead.
Richard Hatch. I'm guessing, David.
I got you.
Goes to meet them on Exile Island because who is the first winner of Survivor?
Yeah,
Richard Hatch.
See, Andy, and I will say Andy Baker, I did hear that he guessed that this was before we read it, before it was written that they'd be joining on Exile Island. He guessed that it was going to be Boston Rob to congratulate Ozzy on playing the most days in the game and surpassing Boston Rob. So,
oh wait, so Andy's theory,
his guess,
his guess is that they're going to purposefully put Ozzy on Exile Island somehow.
No. This was before the written thing came out that he's joining them on Exile Island. We were just talking that the person would come up to all the players and see them all at once. And we thought it was Rob coming out to congratulate Ozzy, and Ozzy's like, "Thanks for putting another target on my back for having the most days out here."
Okay, he has more days than Sandra because he played more seasons than Sandra.
No, Rob was the most days played record holder. Ozzy just passed him this episode.
I know, but that's kind of my point. Winning 2 seasons is better than having the most days.
I didn't bring it up to argue the point.
No. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm saying, why would they do that?
Because they want to get Boston Rob back on TV. I don't know.
Now that would be a logical reason. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to figure out why they would do it.
But that would make sense to put Richard Hatch over there
if
he's still on speaking terms with them.
Would you please read the person who shall not be named in the chat room what they just wrote?
Okay, so this must be a tweet cheat or something like that. One castaway is left floating on Exile Island. Can you be floating in the sand? After a tribe switch, and the exiled castaway receives a surprise visit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Jeff didn't say it, according to Mark. It was in the press release for next episode. Mike shared it in the group.
Got it. Press release. I like it. I love it.
So they are Boston Rob and Ozzy are tied right now with 117 days, but I think it's pretty sure that Ozzy, unless he medically leaves the game, will pass Rob in the next episode.
All right. Well, look, I'm gonna punch this dead horse one more time. All right. If I'm Sandra, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want a target on my back, even though I am the queen, right? But if I'm Sandra and they bring Boston Rob, or they even just acknowledge, Ozzy, today is your 118th day. You have surpassed Boston Rob with the most days in Survivor. Congratulations. If I was Ozzy, I'd be like, don't do that. And if I was Sandra, I would be thinking, that ain't nothing. I won twice.
What a great comment to get from Sandra.
Yes, I'm the queen.
I'm just telling you.
Go ahead.
I'm just telling you what was said to me.
I'm not arguing with you, David.
I know. I agree with you. Ozzy wouldn't want another target on his back. But they love Boston Rob.
Okay, you must agree with me. And Sandra has a more what's the word I'm looking for? A more impressive stat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She does. Absolutely.
All right. Now I can move on because David has agreed with me. It's like having an argument with your spouse.
And you just give in to move on.
You just give in to move on.
Just to move on.
Okay, fine.
Because it's already an hour and 30 minutes into the podcast and we still aren't on feedback yet.
Dude, what do we do on Survivor Talk with D&D? We have fun for however long it takes. You either like us or you don't. And if you don't leave a negative review. Just go listen to someone else. Or leave one, because apparently it sparked some interest and we got some positive reviews. So anyway, next time on, we've already taken that. And then JT, that's 2 weeks in a row where the person that got voted out was really like, man, I got outplayed.
Yep.
So anyway. All right. It is time for me. Well, we've already pushed this a couple times, but get involved in our Survivor Talk group. A lot of fun, lots of good discussion, except for this past week. And join our group, stwdd.com/Facebook. What you doing over there, David?
Adding about 4 people to our Facebook group.
Oh, see, y'all are awesome.
Why is Andy Westover trying to get back into our Facebook group? It says he's already there, but he's there. I'm going to block him.
Yeah. Gosh, it's like he doesn't do anything in our group.
Why?
Yeah.
Why does he want to be there?
Except for the D&D Survivor Challenge, he and Mark. So
yes.
All right. So let's do it. Let's see. Where am I? Oh, there we go. Listener feedback. We get to follow David's document, the incredible document that David makes every week. Thank you, David, for doing that. I'm first. David Holdsworth from New Jersey.
And before you get too far into it, since I didn't have time to post in our Facebook group today, happy birthday there, David Holdsworth from New Jersey.
It's David's birthday?
It is his birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, I probably can't legally sing that. So I'm going to go, happy birthday to you. Birthdays are great to you. Happy birthday, David Holdsworth from New Jersey. Happy birthday to you. All right. David and Dwaine, he says. Oh, I probably shouldn't write that. He didn't mean for us to read that. Why did you put it in there?
For you to read before you were going to read it.
All right. Dear Debbie. Actually, this isn't David Holdsworth. David, this is another feedback, right?
Right.
Dear Debbie, I am very impressed with your calm, cool, and collected gameplay. Sincerely, Brandon Hance. David Holdsworth says, hi, guys from New Jersey. Just a couple comments on this week's episode. Did you notice Varner's face when Sandra told him she was stealing the sugar and pinning it on Michaela? He was absolutely stunned and in shock. I kind of think he was more like, I love this game.
Yeah, I'm actually here watching this in person.
I honestly think, yes, he may have been in shock and stunned, but I also think he was looking at this and going, I am so glad I get to play with people like this. I am learning something every day, just like he was last season.
Yep.
I love Varner. Excuse me. Pinning it on Michaela, he was absolutely stunned. I had to rewatch it a few times. Hilarious. Once the fireworks at Tribal Council were over, excuse me, and the dust had settled, it finally clicked for me. What we saw at Tribal reminded me of the phenomenal movie, The Usual Suspects. Dun, dun, dun. You like that movie, don't you, David?
It's probably on my top 10.
Yeah. You don't even know what movie it is. I bet you can't even name all the actors in it.
Gabriel Byrne, Kevin Spacey, Benicio del Toro, one of the Baldwin brothers, and Kevin Pollak. Go ahead. What else you going to say?
This always amazes me. If you ever we may not be Survivor scholars, but David is a movie scholar.
That is an amazing movie.
I mean, isn't that the one where they tie him up in the room and stuff like that? Isn't that Usual Suspects?
No. The whole movie is an interrogation. That's worth watching. Yeah. But they don't tie him up.
I don't know if this is an appropriate movie or not, but I'm gonna say it anyway. One of the movies I love is where that guy's walking around with the dog that he stole the dog. That's their con, is they steal a woman's dog, and then he goes up to the house and goes, I found your dog. Is there a reward? And then they get the reward. That's not the gist of the movie, but that's in the movie.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, come on, David.
It sounds familiar, but I can't think of that one. Must not have been any good.
All right. Once the fireworks, Usual Suspects. At the end, when Kaiser Soze, is that how you say it?
Kaiser Soze
is walking away, the viewer is given a glimpse into the subtle ways he had manipulated things and spun reality to achieve his end. Sandra is Kaiser Soze. She's working at such a different level than the rest that it's like watching a chess game master who sees 15 moves ahead playing against rookies. Until next week, David Holdsworth. Absolutely.
Yes, because Varner's face was us when we saw what she was doing.
The person that I'm not speaking to, who always has information that no one else in the world has, within 2 minutes of me saying I can't sing Happy Birthday, June 2016, judge orders Happy Birthday song into public domain. How does he know these things?
Google.
It's like, okay, Mike.
Encyclopedia Mike.
No, it's like, yeah, I used to call him Encyclopedia Mike. the man detective encyclopedia, Mike. It's like you say something and Mike immediately goes to the encyclopedia. So here's why I'm mad at Mike. I know you've been waiting the entire episode to hear this.
Yes.
Why I'm irritated at Mike. Why Mike finally pushed me too far. Okay. I was tired of all the idle talk in the chat room. I mean, in our Facebook group. Did Ty play it? Did Sierra play it? Yada, yada, yada. We got it. People have different opinions. That's okay. Right? Mm-hmm. And then I write, okay, how about we talk about something that should be the discussion? I spent 2 hours making the best pre-roll ever for our episode out of 294 episodes. Do you know what the first comment I got was, David?
No.
From Mike K. With a definition of pre-roll as being a advertisement before a video. That was the first comment I get on 5 hours worth of editing and making the most incredible pre-roll for my podcast that I've ever done. I was so proud of it. And not a single blasted person said a thing about it.
Mike did.
Mike. Yeah. Wait, that wasn't a pre-roll. I mean, it wasn't even, yeah, that was really good, Dwayne. But you know, it's not called a pre-roll. No, it was just an encyclopedia. It was just a dictionary. Mike, I'm not talking to you.
Do your push-ups while I read this next feedback.
All right.
This is Will, the Giant Ninja. What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja.
And I like reading.
Sorry, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, things are good. The Cubs are defending the World Series champs for the first time in my great-grandfather's lifetime. The Hawks are about to begin yet another quest to hoist Lord Stanley's Cup. And the Bears haven't lost a game in 3 months. And I feel pretty good about their odds in April, too. And then there's season 34 of Survivor, which has been an awesome pre-merge so far, but is in danger of getting very boring come merge time. So without further ado, here goes. Dear Culpepper, see Brad? Did you see who got the first comment this week? Brad? Did you see Brad? Did you? All right. Number 2. Dear Debbie, I have a saying that I use to describe some of the more colorful people that I interact with. I like to say that they're nuts, but not crazy. Debbie, you're crazy. Even Ty knows it. Crazy lady. Number 3, Dear Ty, wow, dude. Any chance you can repeat the following? I hope the Giant Ninja finds $5 million buried in his backyard. Thanks.
Oh, that was awesome. Yes. Oh, that was good. Yes.
Dear Troy, number 4, if you wait long enough, they will come to you. Good on you, brother. Way to play from the bottom. Number 5, Dear Sarah, if you're trying to work with Troy because it's less boring, then you took the wrong question away from Tony's game. Don't do something because it's exciting or good TV. Do it because it will advance your place in the game. Number 6, Dear Ozzy, the game is easy when you don't have tribal council, huh? Number 7, Dear Varner, if you think there is a swap coming, I like your move. If you think there is not one, then keeping your tribe strong was important. I think you made the right call. Number 8, Dear Aubrey, that's the way to handle a blindside. You show the other side that you are impressed with their gameplay. You don't take it personally and you don't burn bridges.
That's
Kudos.
Right.
And thank you for texting Dwayne. Can't wait to see what twists are still coming.
Nice try, Will.
Dear Sandra, at the start of the season, I didn't think you had much of a chance. But I don't think the editors would show you talking about getting to the end so much unless you, in fact, make it to the end. The queen stays queen.
Mm-hmm.
The queen stays queen? Maybe. Number 10, Maybe. Dear JT, dude, you're down for 1 in the numbers, and you found an idol. And last week you gave information to the other tribe that you know led to your only quasi-ally being eliminated in a twist. And you don't bring your idol to tribal council? Dude. Dude. Awesome episode. Somewhat surprising ending given the redirect. Can't wait to see what happens next week. Go Cubs, go Hawks. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja. Is Will saying he did not see the vote coming at the end?
That's not possible. Will always says he sees the vote coming.
Somewhat surprising ending given the redirect.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right. I want to tell y'all what Will was referring to by saying, thanks for texting Dwaine. And if anybody thinks that I'm doing this because I'm dropping names, I'm not at all. David and I are actually incredibly amazed every time we talk to past survivors. It's like, really? You know we exist? Really? So I'm doing something I could have never done 4 years ago. And I'm scrolling through my messages and looking for this person's name that I texted. And I'm going to tell you what Will's trying to figure out, because I posted it in our Facebook group. Another reason to join the Facebook group, scwdd.com/Facebook. I texted one of the players that is still in the game, and I said, Dwaine here. Do you know if there are spoilers out there? Last week, a guy left this comment on our YouTube video, and I told him about the guy that, and he said, I would assume there are, but I have no idea. I just said, he said, he or she said.
That cuts it down.
Oops. I would assume there are, but I have no idea. I'm nowhere near all that stuff. Cool. Last night I wrote, cool. Last night was indeed off the charts. And then I invite him on the show, and he said, and I say, have a good one, with a little thumbs up. And this person wrote, sure, it gets more intense. Brace yourselves, or brace yourself. I'm not two people. Brace yourself. So I put that in our Facebook group, and I said, I'm not going to say who it is, because, you know, I don't want to give away. Like, if something crazy doesn't happen this week, and then you know that person, anyway, whatever. So that's what he's referring to. Something crazy is going to happen later on in the season.
Yep.
And I put forth a theory that I actually liked. Did you read my what could be crazy that happens?
I thought I read that post, but I don't remember what you said.
Well, I have to read the next one. Dadgummit, I wanted to find what I posted. Do you mind starting the next one?
Well, the next one's audio if you want to play Wendy's.
Oh, okay. Well, I also want to pay attention to Wendy's, so I'll put the video on you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. Wendy Zell, one of our original listeners when we only had 100 people per episode.
Hi, Dwaine and David and all my survivor buddies. I've been missing for a while this season because I had my first grandbaby. Woo! So I've been spending my time loving on him. And when I'm not spending my time loving on him, then I'm catching up on all the things I should have been doing at home. Anyway, this episode, I don't have really much to say other than I knew it was over when JT didn't play his hidden immunity idol. I don't understand why he didn't play his hidden immunity idol. They're obviously going after big threats. You're a big threat. They're going to tell you whatever you want to hear. They realize that you screwed up the vote last time, but they're still going to tell you whatever they want you to hear. I'm so sad because I'm a huge JT fan. I was just screaming, play your idol, but he didn't. So he went home, and I'm sad. The only other thing I have is Debbie. I like to try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but she said she got over it in 30 seconds, and they played more than 30 seconds worth of footage of her falling off and getting back on. So, is she just not in touch with reality? I've always kind of loved Debbie because she was so quirky. But in this episode, she went from quirky to just a little bit scary. So I'm still a fan. I still like her, but I don't think I'd want to have to play with her. So I love this season. This is not a season where you can expect the usual, where the weaker people get voted off early in the season. It seems to be almost the exact opposite. It's exciting to see what will happen in the future. I still can't believe that Sandra's in the game yet. But you know what? Who knows? Maybe she'll squeak her way to day 39. I don't know if they'll give her the money again, but she's fun to watch. I mean, how she ate the sugar and then blamed it on Michaela, and that was funny. It was funny.
I agree.
Anyway, y'all take care. Nice to talk to you again. Bye.
Yay, Wendy Zell. By the way, I want to say something about something she said.
Me too.
Oh, I can see somebody saying it only took me 30 seconds using how we use hyperbole, right? Mm-hmm. You say something extreme to make a point, right? So so like, for example, if I felt like I did it faster than you, I'd say I did it in like 30 seconds. It took them 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's using hyperbole, right? I could see that happening, but I don't think that's what she was doing. And that's what Wendy was saying. I don't think that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, Wendy.
I thought about Wendy when JT got voted off because I know she was a big JT fan.
Yeah.
But, it's easy for us to sit here in hindsight and say you always take your idol and no matter what. But, I mean, all you got to do is stand up and say, you know what? I want to trust you guys. I do, but I don't trust myself of my ability to read you guys. So I just have to play this just to make sure I'm here the next day and hope for something else that changes.
You mean to actually play it?
Yes, to play it.
I thought you meant to bring it.
Both. You always bring it, but still,
yeah.
You got to play it. This is Sandra. How are you trusting Sandra? No, I don't trust anybody. I hope Troy's end doesn't get burned. I know it's a great feeling to carry your idol to another tribal, but still, it's.
David, how many times have we done? Well, this is our 295th episode of Survivor Talk with D&D. Mm-hmm. And you have never said, as soon as you get the idol, play it just to be safe. Never until now.
No, this is one guy against 4 people who were not with him originally. He is an extreme minority, and they are just playing him and loving him up. And you just can't trust that in Survivor, especially against people like Sandra and Varner. But that's what I'm saying. This is not a newbie tribe. This is not one person on a new tribe that knows everybody, that's worked with everybody. He is alone. He will always be alone on this tribe until something else happens. And that's what I'm saying. You can even do like Aubrey and come up with a nice comment and say, I trust you guys, but I don't trust myself and my ability to read you all. And if you're telling me the truth, so I just have to play it to make sure I'm safe and hope something changes next challenge.
Okay. I see what you're saying. And I can see I can see 95% of the other scenarios I would agree with you on. But this one, every single thing they did made him feel safe. It was like he was thinking, I've got myself back in this tribe. No one was talking about him in other areas. He didn't feel like anybody was going behind his back. He was so comfortable.
Which should have sent alarm bells off like crazy, which is why you would get blindsided and I would play my idol. If it's too good to be true, it's not true. It's Survivor.
But my wife was too good to be true, and I got to marry her.
1 in a million. And you married up. So
we all marry up.
Yeah, amen to that.
Unless you're like, Brad Pitt, then
even Tom Brady married up. So hey. But no, if it's too good to be true, it's not true. So I mean they were loving on him too much, and I'm sorry, but that's like I would just I had alarm bells too because it was too good to be true, and I was right. And if I'd had an idol, but I didn't. And he did.
All right.
That's my point.
I love you, David. I love you. But I think it's a lot easier to say that after the fact than it is before the fact.
So you must have been texting because the first thing I said, it's easy to sit here and say this now, but I got to say, see, it happened again. And thank you, Linda. I agree with Linda. JT should know better with Sandra. Don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth. JT should know better. And even Sandra said, if he knows me, he knows he's gone.
Yeah.
First thing she said in the episode, if he knows me, he is gone.
Oh, Melinda, how do you pronounce your name? Because I want to say Goobert.
I think it's Goobert.
That ain't no Goobert.
It's Goobert. Sure bet.
It's Goobert.
It is not Goobert.
Well, let me just poor Melinda. Goobert. When you were young, I bet people were mean to you. And no, because she married into that name, Melinda.
If she's married.
I'm just kidding you. All right. Melinda says, but JT should know better with Sandra. Don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth.
Yes.
No. Oh, yes, Kim. I don't think me saying who told me that is considered a spoiler at all, because if they got voted off next episode, they could still know what was going to happen in the future. And anybody saying that's it just gets crazier, that could mean anything. So I promise you, Kim, I would not purposely spoil you. Kim says she's okay. She's not mad at us. So thank you.
One.
Yeah, that's one. Hey, we got a lot of great people. She wrote blood pressure return to normal, LOL. So I love having a chat room open. David, we officially have more viewers than we've ever had on an episode with just us.
Cool.
When we have other people, we get a lot more, but when it's just us. So, all right. Who's reading this one? Oh, I am. You didn't put down who was reading it.
Yeah, it's underneath audio Wendy Zell.
Oh, it's on the other page. John from Ohio. Hey, Mike is from Ohio. We haven't heard from Mike in a long time.
As long as Ozzy's still in the game, he'll keep watching.
Mike, the truck driver. Mike, we want to hear from you. We miss your feedback. It's been several years, several seasons, especially since
he's probably waiting for Ozzy to do something other than win a challenge.
Here we go. Hey, Dwaine and David. It's John again from Youngstown, Ohio. Last week was my first time sending in feedback, and I really appreciate your responses to it. You guys are great. Also, I'm the only Survivor super fan that I know in real life, so I apologize if this feedback is super long. I have no one to talk to about it. You know what, John? I want to tell you something. It's people like you are the reason that we handle feedback the way we handle it. That's one of the first things David and I talked about. In fact, our very first show, we had feedback for it. I don't know if we had any. I think we may have had one. But David and I used to call in. It's been a long time since we told this. David and I used to call in to a certain show about Lost. It was not a Survivor show. And we would call in or we would leave a message, and they, first of all, never read them. Right, David?
Right.
And if they did read it, they didn't comment about it. They just read it and went on. And I was like, if I'm going to take the time to leave a feedback, I want to hear if they agree with me. I want to hear if they don't agree with me. Otherwise, I'm just riding into the wind.
Of course, they had too many to read, so they only played certain few. And the ones they played were so quick and short, it's like it's not even a feedback. We love your show. Thanks for doing it. Really?
Well, and this isn't a knock on the Lost podcast. I don't remember what the name of it was, because we love the podcast.
Jay and Jack.
Yeah, Jay and Jack. And they're still doing stuff. It's great. But so I'm not knocking them, because there's people who do that and that works for them. But for David and myself, for us, we wanted y'all to be able to be interactive. So there you go. Thank you, John, for saying that. It means a lot to us. I have no one to talk about Survivor with. Every time I bring it up to friends or family, they don't really care enough to talk about it in depth, like you guys do. It's gotten so bad that I've begun talking to my Pembroke Welsh Corgi about it. Yeah, you might want to get some counseling, John. And let's be honest, he doesn't get it either. All kidding aside, I'm excited to talk some Survivor. All right, what is this, page 1 of 12? Oh, my goodness. This is like Will Dennison's old feedbacks.
Yeah.
Feedback, sorry. We got a text about that once too. Before I get to this week's episode, I want to say a few things. I think that Probst should hide an immunity idol clue inside the tribal immunity idol. Oh, and this season would be perfect for that, because the tribal immunity idol is an old diver's helmet. I think that would be awesome. I want to thank Dwaine. What?
Yeah, I agree. That would be cool.
John, are you the one who was on YouTube?
I've been waiting 2.5 hours for you to get to this feedback, for you to read this. Read it.
John, I want to thank Dwaine for giving me kudos on predicting the twist last week. Although he didn't know it was me he was giving kudos to. I wasn't giving you kudos. I was accusing you of being spoiled. I like the name John, but I think that guy on YouTube is starting to sound really cool. That's it. From now on, he's that guy on YouTube. Don't let me forget that, David. Okay? So I'm afraid to read his feedback.
That was so good, because I've been waiting for you to read this feedback.
2 hours you've been waiting.
I know. If it's worth the blindside, it's worth the wait.
All right, back to that guy on YouTube. And now here are my thoughts on this week's episode. Read at your own risk. I added that. I don't even know where to begin. What an amazing episode. That was arguably a better episode than last week's episode. He may be right. Of course, he is the guy on YouTube. I guess I'll start with JT. I maintain everything I said about JT last week. He got duped so hard by Sandra, and it was absolutely hilarious. JT didn't even bring the idol to tribal council. Varner is amazing. I hope he goes far. I've already said how much I love Michaela, and obviously, I still do. When she took out that coffee cup and poured water into it and started drinking it when the votes were being read, I loved it. I've always liked Aubrey. Malcolm, in his exit interviews, talked about how close they were. After this episode, I don't like Aubrey as much. Why? Why would you not like her after this episode? She got duped too, and for some reason, thought that Sandra actually wanted Michaela gone over JT. Sandra is really the shining star of this episode. Yep. She had a plan the moment she stole all of the sugar. She had a plan before that. Don't you agree, Damon?
Oh, yeah. I think that was just something she jumped on when the opportunity came up.
Yeah. All right. You weren't right on that one now, were you, guy from YouTube? All right. She wanted to make sure that JT felt 100% safe so she could pay him back for his dirty deed, as she says. And she did a great job, as JT didn't even bring his idol to tribal council. So a big thank you to Sandra, Michaela, and Varner for getting JT out in the best possible way. Malcolm's boot has been avenged. Also, can I just say how funny it was that JT legitimately thought that Michaela had licked the inside of that jar? Hilarious. How do you even get your tongue and face inside a jar?
Exactly.
Unless you have like a lizard's tongue.
Gene Simmons could.
Ugh. Next, I'd like to talk about Debbie. Debbie has completely lost it. She is actually having delusions. I couldn't believe when she thought that Brad was delegating orders, and when they showed what happened, she was the only one saying how good she is at balancing. She wanted to do the balance beam. All Brad said was, okay, well, if you're good at balancing, you do the balance beam. That's it. Then she starts saying how Haley was the one who cost them the most. Haley fumbled a little bit early, but she made up for it. Deborah was at a standstill for so long. It was so funny how in the immunity challenge, she was like, Brad, did you see how I got over the obstacle first? And Brad was like, I don't know why you're mad at me. I love you. It was so funny. I really would like to see Debbie gone soon. But I also can't wait to see what delusional thoughts she has next. As for Ty, I have to say he's really starting to grow on me. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed sometimes, but he's out there looking for idols. Why isn't anyone else on Mana doing this? They are. They're just not showing it to us. Mm-hmm. You think you know that since you're the guy on YouTube. I hope he doesn't mind. But if he's going to be the guy on YouTube, I get to have fun with him.
Yeah.
All right. Why? He went beast mode and found himself another idol clue. Can I just say something about this week's idol clue? I love it. It's my favorite idol clue in this game by far. I was just thinking last week that I missed the riddle clues. I thought he was, David, I just now thought he was going to say, I was thinking just last week about how they should do an idol clue where you put it on a board and you put it. If he had said that, David, I was thinking just last week that I missed the riddle clues and they're back. That almost is kind of like his YouTube comment. Anyway, I absolutely loved it that it wasn't a map with the exact location or a challenge idol. I can't wait to see Ty get his idol. I do agree with John. I'm sorry. I do agree with that guy on YouTube that they're giving us different kinds of ways to find the idol. It's not all the same way.
I've already made a comment about that, but.
Well, I don't. It's been 2 hours of discussion. I don't even remember. I went back and read Christine. I didn't remember anything about it.
Well, last week the comment was when I talked about how this one was different. The comment was, well, they said they were going to put out idols differently this season, which they posted after they filmed the season. So yes, they can easily say we put out idols differently this season because they put them out as they felt they were needed in the game.
I do remember you saying that now.
Yeah.
Sorry, David. I don't remember everything.
You were texting.
I wanted to get back to JT being a jerk to Michaela before Sandra even stole all of the sugar for a minute. JT, who puts sugar in his coffee every day, was upset that Michaela wanted a spoonful just for her water. Well, you know, John, a spoonful of sugar
helps the medicine go down.
That's right. Let me get this straight, JT. You can have the sugar, but Michaela cannot. He was just being a jerk about the sugar at first. After Sandra stole the sugar and tricked him, I could understand why he was being a jerk. But before that, nah, JT, calm down. I'd like to see Sandra, Varner, and Michaela go far in this game together. I hope that all of the mana gets picked off soon. But if Ty and Brad stay in the game for a while, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I guess I'd be okay with Haley staying for a little bit too. So it's really just Sierra and Debbie that I hope go soon. By the way, speaking of Sierra and Haley, have you noticed, David, we're in day, 12, 13? They don't have bathing suits yet. Have you noticed that?
Mm-mm.
They usually have bathing suits.
Yeah.
Bathing suits. Otherwise, Troyzan wouldn't be wearing those green undies that I want.
Yeah, Brad's still wearing pants.
Yeah.
All over the place.
All right. How about Ozzy coming through in the clutch at the end with those slingshots? I loved it. I'd love to see Ozzy, Andrea, Sari, and Zeke have some sort of alliance that goes far. Although the mix-up next week may extinguish that dream. I don't think Sarah is going to make it much further. The mix-up may benefit her, but her talking and scheming with Troyzan seemed like a great way to get herself voted off. If they had lost that challenge, if they had lost that challenge, if I was Troyzan, I would have went right to the others and exposed Sarah's deception and scheming. Wow. And maybe he could have saved his idol for another day. Of course, this is all just speculation, but it's fun to speculate. That's why we have a Facebook group, because we speculate. I admit that I was a little harsh on JT last week, but you have to admit that watching Sandra work her magic on JT this week was absolutely amazing. I didn't really know what she was thinking at first, but looking back on it, she had a method of her to her madness, and it was impeccable. Exile Island? The twists keep on coming, I suppose. I love it. So do I. Guy from YouTube. I know what's going to happen with this mix-up. I bet they're going to... you know what? I don't even want to hear it. David, if he gets this right, Guy from YouTube, a.k.a. John, if you get this right, I'm going to smack somebody.
Well, it could be one of a few things.
Well, I haven't read it yet, so don't tell me. Should I read it? Do we want to expose the listeners?
You can read it because it's not locked in. There's multiple.
Obviously, I'm kidding around. Okay.
Yes.
I bet they're going to split into 2 tribes of 7, and one person will go to Exile Island, be safe for that tribal, and return to the tribe that goes down to 6. That's after tribal. That's fair. They've done that every time almost.
Now, what they could also do is split the tribes into 3, and the winning tribe gets to pick one person from the losing tribe and make them safe from tribal by sending them to exile, and then sending 4 people to tribal.
All right. That'd be interesting. I say this because Nuku has 4 members, Mana has 5, and Tavua has 6. That's 15 people. So I bet that's what they do. I hope Ozzy and Michaela, above everybody else, get into a good position after the mix-up. I love them both. Thanks for giving me an outlet to rant, David and Dwaine. And even bigger thanks for doing what you do. You guys are my favorite Survivor podcasters, and keep up the great work. Thank you, John, Guy from YouTube. By the way, I wanted to share my, speaking of speculating.
Yeah.
This is what I put on Facebook that I thought would get a lot of conversation, but it didn't. So I developed this twist. David, this is my twist that I think would be good. All 3 tribes arrive at the immunity challenge as normal, but Probe says to them, ready for a game-changing twist? We're drawing rocks for 2 teams to compete in today's immunity challenge. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The winning team goes back to camp until the next reward challenge when you will rejoin your original tribe. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The losing team has a date with me at Tribal where one of you will be going home tonight. Surely this amazing potentially twist is worth some discussion. I think it'd be pretty cool.
So draw rocks to decide tribes.
To decide teams for the immunity challenge. And
then go back to your original tribes before that. After the next tribal.
Challenge.
Yeah,
so
the next reward challenge.
Just that one tribal. So, but it would work better if there was even number of people and they made it so that, it wasn't one tribe was full of Tavua and the other one had one mana. Then that would be obvious.
Yeah.
All right, David, it's time for you to read someone's.
I want to read Kim's comment in the chat room real quick. It says, she said, Debbie's looking for an Emmy. Debbie's looking for an Emmy. Best animated character.
There you go. Patrick Renshaw says Debbie is an egomaniac.
Actually, it's Patricia, but yeah.
What did I say?
Patrick?
Oh, Patricia. In another life, she was Patrick.
So and I get chewed out for saying names wrong. So
and Kim, again, complimenting us. Talent, she writes, obviously about us.
All right, let's go to Brian from Nova Scotia.
All right, here we go.
I think Queen Sandra.
No.
I think Queen Sandra is in a story more properly called Malice in Wonderland. Dirty deeds, indeed. I really don't remember Sandra 1.0 and Sandra 2.0 being this much fun. Her anyone but me has morphed into a deadly attack that targets her enemies. Really, why she wanted her other money shields gone is beyond me, but Sandra has been great TV. She's so far over the radar that she can't last, but I will enjoy the ride until it derails, crashes, and burns. In Survivor with the paranoia, hunger, and fatigue, everything is magnified, but did Brad do anything that bad to provoke Debbie's reaction? Perhaps he did and we weren't shown it, but he seemed as baffled as we were. I wondered if her opinion of Brad was locked in from his previous season. Good point. She expected someone loud and aggressive, but that is not what Brad seems to be doing this time around. Game changers should change what clearly didn't work the first time around, and Brad is trying to reboot his game. Michaela, I was wondering when this side of her gameplay was coming out. Both Sierra and Malcolm in their exit interviews made a point of saying how much they disliked her, but the edit to this point wasn't showing that side of things. Since it was integral to the outcome this week, we got to see how much JT really didn't like or respect her, and even Aubrey, who measures her words to avoid offending, let her disdain slip through. None of these people she offended are on the jury, so it won't hurt her in game. But really, no one knew you were entering no one knew you entering this season. Why make yourself a target?
David.
Yes.
Are you okay?
I'm trying to slide the screen and then read words at the same time and coming back and the words are different. Are you retyping words as I'm trying to read them?
Oh, I'm not touching it.
I think you are.
I am not, y'all.
I'm also very tired. But anyway, last season, the women went home early and often, and the likelihood of a man winning seemed inevitable. Flip the script now as 4 major physical or strategic threats have gone in a row, leaving only 6 men. Sure, anyone make a move. Sierra went out first, but the men are in serious trouble. If the likely merge at 13 happens, women are still in the majority. Simple math will reveal that there is nothing simple about Sari and Sandra. I'm not going to do it. JT is the author of How to Betray Friends Without Really Trying. I don't read as good as you. I'm not an orator like you are, so you have the voice for it.
But you proof these.
I do, but I don't type while you're trying to read them either.
I'm just playing with you.
I know.
I mean, we always give each other a hard time.
Okay. JT is the author of How to Betray Friends Without Really Trying. Not a bestseller. I can forgive not playing your idol, but you didn't bring it to tribal. How safe did you feel? Oh, the queen is very good indeed, especially when she's so very, very bad. Sugar and spice and really not nice.
Oh. How appropriate that is.
Yes.
Because of the sugar.
So the excrement really hit the whirling device this week.
I love it. So the excrement really hit again.
Cheers from the polar vortex that is Nova Scotia this March. Will the cold, wind, and snow ever end? The answer is always July here. Brian.
I wonder what it's like in Nova Scotia. Do they talk like this in Nova Scotia? I don't know.
I don't even know what accent that is.
You need to send an audio feedback. So I know how you speak in Nova Scotia. I absolutely have no idea how he speaks. Yes. All right. Is this our last one, David?
Yep.
Mere I Am, who's normally in the chat room, is not tonight. Here is her audio. Warning, there will be a mention of black cats and kale.
Hey, Dwayne and David. This is Mere I Am, also known as Vader Girl. I am not sleepless. I'm lost in my vehicle driving around Green Lake in Seattle, and that is where I am. Anyways, I wanted to call the feedback in and talk about last night's episode, which I found really amazing. I do think Ozzy's still getting a winner's edit, and I love him. He's still my winner's pick. I'm starting to really grow on Brad Culpepper, who I think I did draft on my fantasy team just because I loved Brad before. He was very fascinating, but I find his edit very intriguing this time around, especially last night when they showed the interaction between him and Debbie, where Debbie was getting this villain music and they showed her just really losing it. And then they just showed Brad Culpepper apologizing, trying to talk to her, being very reasonable. They even did a flashback of before they decided whether or not she was going to do the balance ball thing, whatever that she wasn't able to do. It was very fascinating, but I'm starting to be very team Brad Culpepper. I've loved him already, but now I'm really enjoying his edit, and I'm really enjoying watching this Brad Culpepper, a superhero in turquoise pants or whatever color knickers those are. They're pretty awesome. But anyways, I just wanted to call in. I hope I got him for the deadline. Like I said, I'm kind of roaming around Green Lake. Luckily, Ted Bundy isn't here anymore in his Volkswagen, so trying to get to a destination. And I love you guys, and sending everybody lots of green kale and black cats. You don't eat them. They're best pets. And may the force be with you guys always. Ozzy's winning. Bye.
There you go. I think I accused her last week of eating cats and kale together.
That's what I thought she was saying for me. You don't eat them, you don't know what you're missing.
Yes. And here I am, just to show you how much you are loved by not only us, by our listeners. Kim wrote in the chat room, I would say her last name, but I can't pronounce it. They should throw Debbie in the well to look for the idol. She's got black cat-like reflexes. Here I am. You are loved. All right, y'all. Awesome. 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 Oh, my goodness, David. Oh, my goodness. You are not going to believe this.
You write them. We read them. iTunes reviews.
All right, David, we have 3 new reviews, and I had to copy and paste because I had to take a picture of it and put it in the document because my normal way of doing it was unavailable. So it's really small on my screen, but I'm going to do my best. This is the first one by, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to make this bigger. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. 5-star review by I bet this is GL Oliver or Gloliver. Yeah. 7149. He wrote, I just listened to the 1-star review you read and had to chime in to that genius. It's a podcast. They're just 2 friends talking about Survivor. They say that at the beginning of every episode. They don't have to be unbiased and can pander all they want. They know plenty about the game, as you obviously don't. Oh, gosh. And like they said, almost every decent podcast uses Patreon to make their money. What's wrong with that? If you don't like it, don't listen. Oh, whoops. Oh, crud. It has more on it, and I didn't see that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised you didn't put more on there.
Hold on. Let me go to
What is the next one?
Hold on. I'm going to go to iTunes and look at it. Yeah. So much for... He was singing our praises, and then I messed up. Yeah, how you like that?
You missed the last verse.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Yeah, there we go. What's wrong with that? If you don't like it, don't listen. Myself, I put this in my top 3 podcasts along with Rob Has a Podcast and Survivor Afterbuzz. Oh, I've never heard of Survivor Afterbuzz. Have you, Dave?
Mm-mm.
Of course, we know Rob's great. I haven't heard Survivor AfterBuzz. Hopefully this brings your reviews back up to 5 stars, guys. Keep up the good work. All right. We're still at 4.5. Was this review helpful? Yes. Always click yes on the positives and no on the negatives. What a joy to listen to and watch on YouTube. This is from DaveVK021. These two guys don't do 20 other podcasts a week to make a living from it like other podcasters we all know. Guys, this is getting okay. Remember what I said at the end of, I appreciate the reviews, but remember what I said at the end of the 1 star. Neither one of us wants to insult the other. So be kind. Be kind. They just do Survivor and are great. Thank you very much. The audio quality is really good. Their take on Survivor is that of a fan. They discuss the show at great length. Once I watch Survivor on Wednesday night, I await this podcast to listen on Friday morning at work or over the weekend. I pick up so much or learn so much that I missed when the episode airs. The guys are consistent and are not silly as some podcasts are. That said, they are still funny and entertaining. They do not do their podcast immediately after it airs. Yeah, we used to do that. Remember, David?
Yep.
And it just wasn't, we couldn't be as prepared and stuff. So.
Yeah. I like to watch twice and get more out.
They wait a day to let the show sink in and to think of everything to talk about the episode in great detail and give their fans a chance to write in and talk about parts of the show in detail. I really have little time to listen to podcasts. I do listen to a podcast about the Americans. Really? Oh boy. I do that to help understand the show. And that's it, except for this podcast. I was in podcasts a lot heavier a few years ago, but grew weary of all the podcasts. I just couldn't keep up and went back to listening to Pandora instead. I didn't even listen to D&D last season. What? Anyway, this season I got back into it, and hearing these guys is a breath of fresh air again. I only listen to 2, maybe 3 podcasts a week, and this is my number 1. Good job, guys. You drew me back in. Thank you. Man, these are good. Thank you, guys. One more, David. One more.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm up to 5. I usually listen to like 2, but I'm up to 5. None of them are Survivor, but
right.
Up to 5 podcasts.
Well, I mean, for, just so y'all get an idea of how David and I are, we enjoy Survivor, but we don't like live in it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're not saying anybody else does. We're just saying we don't live in it. So, we get ready for our show. We enjoy the group, but like I listen to audiobooks and stuff like that. So I don't listen to other podcasts about it.
Yeah.
Good podcast if you like Survivor. These are 2 friends who love Survivor. Good, clean fun that makes me laugh. Look forward to it every Friday for a new podcast. Keep up the good work. Thank you all. That really means a lot to us. We just honestly can't tell you how, well, it just feels really good that people like us.
I hope it stays 5 stars if it doesn't show up Friday morning. If not, it'll be there Saturday.
Well, last week it wasn't up Friday morning. We started getting, where's the podcast? I'm going to try to get it up tomorrow morning. It depends on if I can make the other podcasts like smaller by lowering the quality of the MP3.
Yeah.
If I can, then. Okay. All right. So thank you so much. Very much. If you like us, go and leave an iTunes review and we'll read it on the air. If you don't like us, I don't know why you're 2.5 hours into the episode, but if you leave a negative review, we'll read it on the air. We really will. So thank you guys very, very much. We love that you like us. And it means a lot. Okay, David, do you have anything else about this season, this episode, next week's episode, anything at all, except for what you're going to talk about after the closing music?
Well, we've already talked about it, and this was my favorite episode so far.
All right. So you're not, there's nothing to talk about after the music?
No, we already talked about it. It was about Boston Rob being the one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hold on. Right. Gracie said she gave me feedback.
Well,
she said her only feedback for the entire show is "Shut up, Debbie." So you have to send it, Gracie, in an email form. I'm not going to remember that you.
No one else gets to send text feedback. Just because you're David's daughter doesn't mean you get special things.
Just because I'm paying for your education doesn't mean you get freebies. That's right. Love you, Gracie.
Looks like we're done for the night, but we all look forward to. It is the best part of the entire episode. David's one final word of wisdom before we go.
Never trust Sandra, and always bring your idol.
All right, everybody, enjoy your week. See ya.
See ya.